In the night, so cold rocket dreams, resilience in the fold, hedge pressurizing, the charts are bold, DD bands rapping, stories untold. Riding with rockets through the AI, up we go reaching for the sky. Every train home never dies, on the edge as the numbers fly. Checking the charts, midnight glory, heartbeat thumping, another story. Green and red, flashing voices loud, future kings standing on their cloud. Riding with rocket scooter AI, up we go reaching for the sky. Every train home never dies, on the edge as the numbers fly. Ascending, mind on fire, never ending. Trees of gold, endless fight. Push on through the endless night. Riding with rocket scooter AI, up we go reaching for the sky. Every train home never dies, on the edge as the numbers fly. Charts, midnight glory, heartbeat thumping, another story. Green and red, flashing voices loud, future kings standing on their cloud. Checking the charts with their AI, up we go reaching for the sky. Every train home never dies, on the edge as the numbers fly. Checking the charts, checking the charts, midnight glory. Sanctuary in awe, it's blending. Mind on fire, never ending. Dreams of gold, endless fight. Push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Oh my gosh, my hair is all like bedhead. I didn't even comb my hair. I ran straight to work. I'm such behind today. Oh my god. You know, can I tell you something funny? I traded last night. I shorted last night. I was upside down last night. And then I about like 1 o'clock in the morning when we started getting the fall, I closed out at a slightly lesser loss. I assumed that we were going to trade up and then sell the whole thing off. I was positioned for that. Another one of those, I would have made $400,000 in a single trade probably had I stayed with it. But I closed out at a tiny loss of 10K. But at least my speculation was right. I just lost patience with it and I was going to go to bed. I'm like, God, let's pick it up in the morning. I was betting big. Big. Well, I'm trying to get everything set up. My computer somehow reset last night. So I gotta log everything in here. I had that suspicion, man. I was like, I know. And it was just like flat and I was just kind of holding right on that dip. I was like, all right, let me get out of the way. Good morning. Am I okay, Matt? Oh, I'm really good. I'm really, really good. Yeah, sometimes my computer, like, I leave it on, but sometimes I wake up and then it's turned off. Oh, and then earlier, what took me so long to start the stream, you know those balloons that I had here? I had undone. Hold on, let me turn the fan back on. Hold on. I got a funny story about that. I woke up to the sound of, actually like this. And I was like, what the hell is going on upstairs? Ran upstairs. The 3 balloons had been like circulating the fan. The fan was just hitting those fans, hitting those balloons. So I spent like the first, I don't know, 15 minutes up here trying to dislodge and untangle and cut these balloons out of the fan. So that's why I was late. Balloon issues. I know. Welcome to the stream, you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. The first thing that you do. Thanks for supporting our show here. Man, I feel good about being right, but I did also take a small loss. Oh, I gotta... Oh, wrong spreadsheet here. Hold on. Oh, wait for it. There we go. Okay, hit that like, guys. Let's go. Current prop deals going on with their partners right here. Man, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. So like I started building a short. I was like, I know it's going down. I want, and again, we were above MHP, so it was like a dangerous short. Let me walk you guys through it. Hold on. Come on, Discord, load up. Load up. Okay, it was 68.20 and 47.87. 47.87. I knew I was like, I'm gonna short it down to MHP. I know we're going down there. I tell you how crazy I am. I shorted with 60 contracts. Which I've got NinjaTrader to it, you know, because you can only have 50 at the most for NASDAQ. I got NinjaTrader to give me more margin so I can trade, or give me more contract. I raised the contract limit, so I can trade much more than the default limits. I was like, I'm fucking shorting the crap. After this, I'm shorting the crap out of it. So when we had this and this right here, this and this, I built a short. As it rallied, I shorted some more and shorted some more and shorted some more. I was like, I'm building for the crash out. I know the war's still there. We're going to fall out in Europe. I know it. And then it was doing this and it kept going higher. And I was actually fighting it all night. I was like, okay, it popped. They added some more, closed some out. It popped, added some more, closed some out. Popped, added some more, closed some out. Walking my cost basis higher. And I was bag holding about 100 points. And I was like, it's volatile. It's going to be volatile tomorrow. And I'm going to wake up to us below DD band. I know it. And then right when the European market opened and it started like doing this, and right there I was like, fuck it, I'm just getting out. It's gonna squeeze up, so I closed out, and then probably about here. So I'm down. This is, consider this flat. 12K is flat. The size position I was in, that's pretty flat. So I closed out flat. I was like, you know what? Yeah. But imagine what 60 contracts would have been for. I hate doing that. Let's not do that. It's bad form. But yeah, it was, you know, from up here, 500, 600 points. I was like, I'm full port and short this. I'm that convinced that we're selling off. Yellow line on S&P 6836. I was like, all right, as soon as we lose this yellow line, we're gonna tank. I knew it. I felt it. But looks like I was right. I was gonna complete the challenge in one day, 100%. If I made money off screen, everybody, well, how come you didn't do the trade on screen? I'm telling you, dude, I've come to find out on FinTwit, and I hate to say this, and I'm trying to mean anybody. I feel like most people out there, I don't feel like it's a haven for educated individuals, I guess. I'm so used to being an engineer where everyone I would talk to was smarter than me, right? About anything. Like I would just have a conversation with anybody at work. They're just competent people. They're highly intelligent that would just understand anything you're talking about. And when they talk back with you, you know they're not full of shit because you also are smart. And you have this sort of like intellectual conversation. I'm sure Einstein would talk to people and realize that they were dummies just because he can hear how they talked about stuff. Most of FinTwit are dummies in like the nicest way possible. Like, and I say that to be nice, and not everybody is blessed with the gift of IQ, but it seems to be that people just speculate because they're dumb, or have questions because they're dumb. And yeah. Like, why would you trade that off screen? Like, and people say that, right? And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, how does that invalidate the trade? Well, we didn't see it. How do we know that it's real? Well, there's the balance and the account number. But you could be lying. Yes, I could be lying. It's just people don't think. I would say it would show up here if it was there. Somebody also, speaking of people speculating, have the expected accusation of you have a prop scoring site. How do we know you're not playing favorites? Is fair. It's fair to have that, and I would ask the same question. Anybody. And so I want to address that because that's something I was talking to somebody was saying something about this morning, somebody random on conversation I had on Twitter. And my biases were up and below DD band. Market's 100% irrational at the start of the day. My bias is that whenever you see this kind of pre-market low like this is your high for the day. So anything inside of here, it's not going to break that high. It's not going to break that high. That's it. Pretty simple for that one. I do think we find lower lows and then we V all the way back up at some point. It's going to be volatile and choppy again. So let me zoom out and show you. And let me talk about the prop scoring website. That's why I'm bringing this up. I think that this is going to try to achieve lows and then V back up from there. So this still the same stuff. But man, I felt it in my bones. I knew it was going to happen. Felt like it was going to happen, but I did close out flat. I'm probably not even going to open to be honest, I'm not even going to open my prop accounts today because being irrational like this, last thing I'm going to do is take any risk on them. Site almost ready. Oh, it's almost ready to go. You guys want to see a preview? A preview of it? Let me show you guys the latest preview of the search results. Hold on. I haven't seen it yet. This is the last design of the site is ready to go. We're just updating it physically on the front end. You see this right here? So you'll be able to apply all your different filters, which would be like what kind of accounts, what kind of payout that you like, time in market, this kind of trailing drawdown, that kind of thing, this kind of cost, this kind of whatever. You put in your own trading stats. It'll modify the scores based on your stats and your expected failure rate. What do you guys think of this? The return, there's a few modifications you're gonna make, but I know they're using Apex. First of all, they're using Apex just as a graphic for this graphic. This is not Apex's score by all means. Apex is probably the worst ranked firms in the scoring model. But right here, it's going to have the score. We're going to not say 9 out of 10. It's going to just have the score. We're getting rid of the out of 10. You guys like this? Pretty cool. It'll tell the payout that you get on the time of market. You have to get your first payout. And then the difficulty score, return on investment score, price per drawdown. So drawdown per price, price per time in market, and then an aggregated review score. This is the only subjective part of the entire site that it doesn't factor into the other scores. So the review is like based on everybody's reviews. And we're gonna parse data from all. We're gonna scrape data and parse it. We're gonna grab it from all kind of places. So we're gonna get Trustpilot, all of that. We're gonna take their reviews and filter it in the score until we have enough of our own. The next steps from here is that other than the review score, price per time in market is a score that allow you as a trader to say, well, actually, let's start at the top. Traders can do the following. I'm a horrible trader. I don't pass these props at all, and they're too hard. I need the easiest one possible. It doesn't matter what the payout is. Doesn't matter anything. I want something that's easy to pass because I need to build my confidence there. And difficulty is your place to go. The other side of the coin is I'm a really good trader. I crush all of them no matter what. I want the best return on my investment. And you're going to do ROI score. You might say, all right, I'm kind of wanting to have a bigger account because the way I trade allows bigger swings, so I need bigger drawdown. I don't like to do scalping. I like to grab something, hold, and then let it ride. So I need the biggest drawdown or the biggest account size for the price of what I pay. There's that one. The other side of the coin is you're a trader that says, I'm emotionally unstable and something that just takes 6, 7, 8 days to pass, I blow up because I freak out. I need something that I can pass as quick as possible for the dollar I spend. That's this score. And then review is like, are this firms a scam or not? And that's personal side of things. Country restriction filter, 100% is already built into it. Yeah. The overall score is an overall score based on all the factors that go into these and other things. When you select a firm or highlight a firm, the detailed layout of the score and how it ranks will be printed over here. Plus all these extra information, view firm, and it'll tell you all that stuff, restricted countries, products you can trade, all that stuff. There's a compare feature where you can select multiple firms or multiple products, and then it lists them horizontally or vertically next to each other so you can compare all the factors side by side, payout, this, that. Just like whenever you're, I kind of got the idea from like Newegg. When you're buying RAM, it lists all the components next to each other. What's the this, what's the speed, what's the that, and so you'll be able to put this next to each other like that. And so whenever you're going to check out, you can say, my fund of futures having a deal, and so is TPT. Which one's better? Add to compare, boom, boom, side by side, just like you're buying RAM for your computer. Another thing is score history. If a firm changes their stuff, there's going to be something that's up here that's called recently updated. You'll be able to click on the ones that recently changed. Then when you go on the firm's card and click on view firm, there's going to be a score history that'll show the overall score and how it changes over time. Like if a firm is updated 5 times the year and each time the score has gone down, it's just like your credit score. You can watch a firm deteriorate before your very eyes. Know that there's something going on before something's going on. A big prop firm like Apex comes out and says, hey, all this marketing that they did for this new release, then you read the score and find out that it's actually mid. Then you get to see the actual information instead of just the marketing. They spend millions and millions of dollars to market this new release of theirs. And people like me are the ones that are like, it's kind of like it's not any good. Every affiliate out there, what's the best, next best thing? How do they even know? So now you'll know, right? They're just saying it because Apex took me to dinner and said, we're about to do this big release. We want you on our team. Are you on our team? We're gonna give your customer base 60 accounts to give away every month. We want you on Team Apex. I'm like, all right, I'll take your free shit. Told you guys, y'all still said they were a scam, but I'm like, I'll give out the free stuff if you want it. But yeah, they flew out here and took me to dinner and were like, we want you on our team for this big launch we're about to do. So I'm sure the 95 other people out there saying something are just on the team, which is okay. I mean, that's what they're marketers. That's what they're paid to do, and I get it. But how would you as a customer know? Sift through the noise. And so you have to trust that there's a site that is neutral and just gives you the score. Now, this brings up the second question. How can you trust Mac, Howard? Well, good question. And I had a conversation on Twitter with somebody about that. How do we know it's basically saying, how do we know you're trustworthy? Great idea, but how do we know you're not fudging the numbers for whatever reason? And I was like, that's a great conversation that does need to happen. You know, there's two schools of thought. Number one is I can be paid by nobody, and therefore there's no incentive for me to even care. I can just, if I'm paid by nobody, then my site is just my site, right? It doesn't make any income. It doesn't serve any purpose other than just to be a charity for the industry. And while that does sound cool, we are employing a bunch of people, so the site needs to pay for itself, right? And also hopefully generate something from us. So the idea is that we're paid by everybody equally, and there's no incentive for me to choose one or the other because I get paid the same. And here's the logic that goes with the math. Say that I do $1 million a month in sales. We do many millions a month in sales, so we'll round down to $1 million just to give you that number. We do $1 million a month in sales. It doesn't matter who's on top. You guys are going to spend $1 million no matter what. My income from affiliation is proportional to the size of this stream, not proportional to which firm is ranked the best. If there was a firm that was ranked the best and I just ranked another firm better because I wanted to commit fraud, which would be basically lying in public, saying something's neutral and it not being neutral is considered fraud, and we could be sued for that by the prop for fraud and libel. For you to make a false claim about a prop firm that their score is neutral, but yet you're incentivized or paid by someone else to lie, there's tremendous downside risk. So we wouldn't do it. And you could say, well, what if you're still doing it because there's some upside potential for you to take the downside risk? The downside risk is because we could be sued for tens of millions of dollars, maybe more, right? So I better be offsetting that if I would be choosing that. If to take the side of the argument that you would choose to do that anyways, I must be making that tremendous upside. The prop firm out there paying me that much, trust me that, $10 million or whatever a month, none of that's happening. But if I ranked one of my favorites higher than the other illegitimately, what would happen with that? You would just buy that instead of the other thing. I get a check either way. So my income doesn't go up. Whoever is on top, you guys are going to spend it. I watch every month. My total sales are pretty much the same and getting bigger as the bigger the stream gets. So whether I direct people to A or direct people to B, the income for us is the same. So it served no purpose to boost my favorites. And the thing was, well, you're on MyFunded TV. How do you know they're not the top dog? I'm like, well, first of all, I got 4 TV show offers. I chose to be on MyFunded TV, and the paycheck from there, it's the same everywhere else. I don't work for them any other capacity. I don't benefit from their sales other than a standard affiliate. I'm not a shareholder of the company. Top Step is going to be ranked on there. Firms we're not working with, they're going to be ranked equally. And you'll see that even firms I don't like might be ranked high. You know, it's kind of like the way it's going to be. But you understand how this works, right? How's this different from Kellyanne's comparison site? Well, first of all, that's not a comparison site with any kind of logic built by a logical person. It's built by someone that's just ranking things that pay them. That's every site out there. They're not even rankings. They're listing their favorites. It's subjective. It's literally a list. And how is it different? Ours is a complex scoring model. Like, you know, that person could add 2 numbers together to save their life on that site. It's just, I like these firms, right? That's what everybody's is like. Ours is a mathematical model that gives a score for every detail. If a prop firm changes the rules in the back end, like, hey, now you can't flip your accounts anymore, the score will change. Prop firm changed the model, like, okay, we're gonna add an extra day to your payout, the score will change. It's that sophisticated. Hey, what's up? Oh, thanks, man. Somebody said my favorite grandma put MFU on her lowest tier after you got MFU. I didn't get anybody to cut anybody off. I think people think that because I'm on the show, I have some kind of like decision making over there. I have no decision making power anywhere. I certainly never got anybody cut off. I certainly no idea who half these people even are. But that's exactly what we're trying to combat. that's what you're saying, that people are just trying to dog on the firms that they don't like, then you basically understand the problem and need for something like this in the industry as a shopper goes. So here's some layers of protection for honesty. Number one, I hired employees to manage the site. I will not touch the numbers. I created the machine. I'm hands off. The employees get paid the same and have zero incentive themselves to go commit fraud at such a high level of risk for no gain for themselves. They get paid the same salary regardless. If you guys want to think Farina is out there, she's going to be one of the people helping us. Farina's out there. Hey, Farina, did I ever tell you to go rank our favorite firms the highest? They just input the numbers, and the model's the model. Farina, here's this morning. Have I ever had a conversation with anybody on the staff about doing anything shady? I have dozens of employees that will be working on the site. Any one of them could blow the whistle at any given time. So again, there's some safety measures for you guys. If I was doing something if I was doing anything at all remotely sleazy, the employees themselves could blow the whistle at any point and ruin the whole thing. So clearly there's protective measures. If there was some kind of illegitimacy, it wouldn't be going on for that much longer, or going to be going on for that long. Another thing is the mathematics of being paid the same. I'm incentivized by you guys having a good time in the prop space. An example, if we do 1 million sales a month, whether firm A's at the top or B's at the top, you guys are going to spend $1 million a month no matter who I put at the top, if I was doing something wrong. So I gain nothing from that act. I literally gain nothing from that. And if I send you guys to a bad firm that I'm ranking higher, illegitimately, if that was the case, and you guys had a bad experience and never went back to props to begin with, we would actually lose customers and actually lose credibility. And so people would say, yeah, I used that scoring website, but man, this firm still scammed me. I didn't get a payout. It kind of sucks. And then it would completely fall apart. So I think a lot of people aren't really using their head when they want to speculate, but it makes a lot of sense when you should speculate. But it just takes one bad customer to we lose everything. It takes one rogue employee to blow the whistle, we lose everything. It takes a lawsuit from a prop firm saying, you say you're not biased, but then you're biased. Then we get sued for tens of millions of dollars. There's a million safeguards to the integrity of the model. And somebody was like, well, will you reveal the math of the model, or will it be proprietary? It will be 100% proprietary. For the same reason the credit bureau keeps their credit score proprietary. The reason for that is for the integrity of the scoring system. You could have same credit risk, but artificially fudge the numbers on your own credit score if you knew how to do so. If you knew every detail that went to the credit score, you could do certain actions or stuff to boost your score because you know how you're scored. And so prop firms could find a way to make their language a certain way to trick our people to get away with something if they knew how it worked. It would ruin the integrity of the site. Plus, it would give copycats, a free value add on their site for something they didn't invent. So nobody out there is going to have something like this, and we will preserve the integrity. But there is a layer between myself and the employees. They're going to be the ones. Each employee that we have is going to be handling a number of customer accounts, prop accounts. And so their customers are going to be a list of so many prop firms. They're going to be in charge of that. And I'm going to have zero connection to the data entry. So that's the layer of separation between me and them. I'm the one that benefits from, the company benefits from the affiliate sales, which is going to be what pays everybody's salary. But the employees don't get paid anymore. We're picking a favorite. And with so many people there's no way we'd be able to keep any illegitimacy a secret. So you have to believe that it's accurate. And these are great questions. Anybody that, something new that pops up. If somebody mentioned, so-and-so has a ranking site and they don't like a firm, they rank them poorly. There's no math ranking to it. It's just a list. These are my favorites. These are not my favorites. There's no employees there. This person doesn't make any money. The person probably barely does $10,000 a month in affiliate checks, right? And they barely make anything in the industry, but they're going to try to be loud about it. And that's the reason we exist, because there's a lot of unfairness. There's a lot of paid marketing for the same, you can kind of just see there's a bunch of the same out there. but there's nobody that has a mathematical based scoring system that's extremely sophisticated. Every word in their FAQ will be part of the score. Yeah, I'm going to rank Apex and Top Step the highest. Yeah, you'll see Top Step is going to be in the top 10 probably, you know? It's like, I fucking hate Top Step with a passion, but they'll still be listed on there. That's how you'll know that we're telling the truth, because Top Step will have a pretty decent score. That's the answer there. Is there a cost to us, the users? No, it's 100% free. Yeah, and Farina will be leading the team, by the way. She's one of the leaders on that project. So yeah, it's like we're bringing people from the community who you know are going to be trustworthy. Farina has been helping us out from the start. To date, she hasn't been paid $1. She's been a volunteer moderator. That's her passion for the community. So she will be hired as an employee finally to take over a large portion of the back end of some of this. So, and some other people, yeah. But that way you guys know that it's, you know, it's controlled by others and they'll be the ones taking care of it. Andrew is also going to be running the show on the back end. And then we'll pull more people in as we need it. But the point that you guys would say is like, you know, you have to explore when you do debate, because I was on, you know, debate when I was in high school. You have to explore all portions of a debate to kind of satisfy everybody's curiosities. And so the downside risk of committing fraud is you can get sued for many tens of millions of dollars. It's not going to happen. There's no upside potential to offset that risk. So that's a bad trade to begin with. To dog on firms I don't like, I'll just fucking talk shit about them on Twitter, but their score is going to remain unchanged. That's damn sure. It's going to be exactly where it needs to be. So there's tremendous downside risk for being illegitimate. You can play favorites like Grandma does. There's no illegitimacy there because you're not claiming that you're not. You can rank who you like. If you claim you're neutral and you're not, that's fraud. So there's a difference between making a claim and then committing libel by saying it's neutral when you're seriously not being neutral. There's a damage claim from that. So we have that extra sort of, you know, step we have to take to ensure that our claims are accurate online. We can't solicit business on false pretense. They call that fraud. And so it's different for a review site than like somebody else's that would say, I don't like this firm, let me rank them lower. But they're not claiming they don't do that. So they're not really making a claim we're a neutral site, this is neutral. They're just ranking their favorites. And you can do that. So lastly, we get paid the same no matter who's on top. If firm A is on top and then I decide to, I'm going to put firm B at the top. You guys will buy firm B instead of firm A. I get the same paycheck. It doesn't make any sense, but I would edge one over the other. And thirdly, is me being on My Fun and Futures TV show doesn't mean I give a shit about My Fun and Futures being ranked #1 or #2 or #5. If they're ranked number 20, they might kick me off the show. I'm just kidding. They're not like that. They're not. But seriously though, there's no incentive for me to do that. I'm not actually like, they've never come to me to talk to me about this. They've never said, hey Matt, we're gonna have a good ranking, right? Never happened. They don't pay me to say anything about them. They don't even pay me to market them, period. We never have conversations with the head brass over there and they're like telling me what to say about the firm. It's standard affiliate fare. I get the printouts with the deals and that's basically it. When we get on the show, we talk trading. I don't think I've ever remember My Fun and Futures one time ever sitting there and telling me what to say about them online. Hey, we got to do damage control. All hands on deck. We got to do this. It's a pretty, like, just to be transparent behind the veil, it's a very moderately hands-off experience. When we talk about the show, it's all about the show. Hey, we're going to talk about this. We got this going on, this sale, this guest, this thing. 0% is there ever a moment where you feel like something's shady or they're trying to incentivize you to do something that you don't want to do. Never once. So they're certainly not paying me to rank them to the top. That's for damn sure. And nobody will be either. And I promise you guys that. Don't isolate My Fun and Futures because I'm on the show. Any firm has that potential to come in and say, hey, if I give you $1 million, can you put me on top? You should be really worried about any firm having that potential to do that. But I guarantee you and promise you that will not be the case because my own employees will blow the whistle on me if I tell them, hey guys, I need you to go fudge numbers a little bit. We got a bonus check. No way that wouldn't leak out because somebody'd be pissed off they didn't get a bigger share of that bonus check and they blow that shit up all over Twitter. Trust me when I say safeguards are in place. The integrity of the website to be there. And hopefully this spells anybody's questions, but I think it's appropriate to ask those questions because in this environment, you're overwhelmed with affiliate sales and affiliate stats, affiliate sales and affiliate marketing, that it's just overwhelming what's trustworthy and what's not. And it is appropriate to ask those questions because how can we guarantee something's neutral, especially if you're getting paid? And the idea that I'm getting paid equally should dispel that thought that there is no incentive. Our total sales of all affiliate becomes the same. I watched that month after month. Like when Lucid came out, it's like Tradeify went down when Lucid went up the same amount. Our sales go up when we have more people. Our sales go down when we have less people total. But you guys switch your taste, the total check comes in the same. So there would be no incentive to run this big mass conspiracy for no financial gain with tremendous downside risk from a lawsuit. It would be a bad trade. And so hopefully you guys are smart enough to understand, yeah, that does add up, right? But I think a lot of people on Twitter are just going to be very like cautious because there's a bunch of shit out there. And I don't blame them. There's a lot of garbage out there that kind of tries to prop firm site aggregates that all they want you to do is just come there, gain some scraped information from the website on the surface and then buy something. Or in the case of somebody mentioned a name in this chat, they just have rankings of sites they have codes with. They've been canned by half the prop firms in town, canceled their code because they're kind of like a dick to everybody. And the prop firms think that's bad for business on their own accord. And so then they start ranking the firms they don't get paid lower to direct people to the firms they do get paid from. That is kind of the scam out there that they're doing. And it's more like, you see that out there a lot. Somebody has like a review site and it only reviews the ones they got to check with, and the ones that they don't have codes with anymore, mysteriously not on the site. So it's called a sales funnel. They're using that to funnel people into a place where they can get the money. If you go there and there's a firm that they don't have a code with, then they don't get a sale. So yeah, that is masterfully crafted, and those particular people are doing that to artificially boost their number, or to boost their numbers in sales for the firms they do get paid for. Like Matt needs a bonus check. Yeah, and at the end of the day, Future D Skinny comes with the final answer to the question. The monthly stipend I get for being on a My Funded TV show is my 10-point stop loss on a trade on a Tuesday morning. I'm saying, it's not that much money. Not that much money to risk reputation over for that. That's for damn sure. As the final nail in the coffin was there. On the conversation is right. People need to understand this isn't $1 billion enterprise out there. Right? We're not raking in dough hand over fist to make it even worth our time to try to make $1,000 extra here or there by being illegitimate, right? That's the real answer to that. So, Melts, rewind to the bottom of the stream, please. And then we get to the question. I'm going to answer a question for you. We always start pre-market just with the opening conversation about something. We're releasing a brand new website, by the way. So the idea is to have just an announcement about it. So whenever the viewers get here, then we start talking about market. So yeah, Catalyst Active Line. Okay, so right now we're opening below DD bands. Because that way everybody gets the message right. We're opening below DD bands. Market's irrational from the get-go. Irrational market. Stay out of. Usually when you open below bands, it's important to stay out. You might fall very quickly to like hedge pressure or something. Monthly hedge pressure is probably the only place I'd long from, or maybe a liquidity pocket. But with the catalyst active, it'll be smart just to probably sit out. But let's measure our cat active lines here. We're going to go to the risk interval table here. 6650 off of S&P. 45, 46. $79.5. Oh, hey, that's And then we got Nasdaq is going to be here. 252.75. I'm way too lazy to add this up. I'm at 252.75. 52.25. I'm not gonna trade my props today. My computer reset last night. I woke up with everything down. I'm taking that as a sign. I'm just gonna like not trade props today and just kind of leave it on its own. I did last night build a short, and I was fighting it on the way up by buying and sell, like adding, subtracting, adding, subtracting, adding, subtracting. And then finally, when I got this dip, I closed everything out in a tiny loss. I was in a huge position. And so I basically cut out flat. This is as flat as you can cut out with the size position I had. And I scared myself out of shorting, and I was like, man, what if it is rallying? That's so weird. I'm like, no, I feel like it's going to open below DD bands in the morning. I'm going to wake up for a big old fat crash. I could have been 400 contracts. I hate doing this as like bad form, but like 400 contracts. I mean, 400 points. That would have been $500,000. I would have woken up to. And I just held my short to there. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. So I'm like, yeah, but at least I was right-ish, but I had no evidence to, other than we're gonna return all the way to the MHP. So. I was fighting it all night. I was kind of getting exhausted with it. Every time it would bump, I'd add a little bit more. Every time it dip, I'd cover some out. The whole way up. 787, 6820, 2787. I would have passed the challenge this morning almost. I would have been a minute from the end. The old coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yep. It's bad form to do that. You should never go, I should have done that, because you're going to wake up in the morning trying to swing harder. But it's cool to know that I was right. My intuition was right. This squeeze into expiration, I figured we'd get right back on track. That's what I thought. So we're going to get back to lower lows. So now that we're back to that. Oh, Slacks. Oh, Andrew's doing great. We had a risk interval on VIX. So we'll check that. I don't think we're there yet. Remember, risk interval on VIX is really hard to achieve. So we might be close, but let's double check. 22.4, 25.8. So that's 3.4. Hey, babe. It's 3.9. Hey, hey. So 3.9, and risk interval on VIX is an automatic sit out no matter what. So 22.4 and 3.9 is 22.4. So 6.3 is your risk interval level today. Right, 6.3. So what you guys are gonna really like about the prop website is the history of scoring. So you'll be able to see like a prop firm's score change as time goes by, based on what they update. Like Lucid just came out with a new update. Are the new scores better than the old scores? Right? That's gonna be very cool to see that as well. I think we continue down or go up and take NFP highs. Oh yeah, that's right. We did NFP today. I'm going to tell you that today, I don't think we break through highs. I think that those highs are anchored in there. Those highs are anchored in there. If anything, we'll probably test this. And that's the real question, what happens from there. I did take a short overnight, but I closed out flat. Well, flat-ish relative to my position size. So we're going to see what happens. Right inside the DD band right here is usually a long trade. The ratio is greater than half. That ratio will pop up in a couple of minutes here. And we'll see what happens. I would say probably today's a day just to sit out and do very little. Would I want to long off of here? Not from the opening move. Nah, probably not. I think anything where these NFP highs are, at best case scenario, we take out, you know, whatever we have here, and that's it. I think any long setup would go to there. Do I want to take the long here? No. What I think is that we're going to have a wick that's a lower low, and then it'll pop back up. Remember, it's expiration Friday. So my original thought, and I actually was looking on the chart yesterday, and I know this is kind of a silly thing to do as well. I was looking for a time that had candles that looked the same, so you guys can have like a visual look of like what the candles could look like. So I can be too lazy to draw all these things, but let me see if I can find it. I can't remember where it was, but I found somewhere on the chart that I was like, ooh, I think the candles are gonna look like this. Maybe it's S&P. So I think we still go down right out the door. I wouldn't all be buying any dips here. Let's wait for liquidity maps to come out. Where is that I was looking for? We find a lower low and then we wick all the way back up, like a lower low period altogether. I'm gonna be too lazy to draw it, so let me find something. Maybe like this. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. Take a picture of this. I was thinking it's gonna be like this. And that, actually, but like a day like this. This is what I'm thinking. Like, basically, as we're moving up, it's going to have a wick that goes lower lows and wick back up. So even though we're trying to crawl back up, the volatility is going to press lower lows. Like, essentially, we're going to probably have a market that looks like this, where it's volatile, coming off of a bottom, and just wide every single day as it consolidates. So lower lows, wicks every day, kind of thing. I think that it's going to kind of look like that. So, like today, while it does try to go higher, now the question becomes, do we have another leg down before it goes up? It does that, I don't know. But I thought, you know, we were going to have wicks the whole way up, even if it is consolidating, so. Ratio 37. So yeah, that low, DD ratio less than half is not bullish for this general market condition. I don't know why the futures liquidity maps aren't loading up. So let's get this. MHP is a little bit lower, so that is a potential entry. Okay, so this is your question that you have as a trader. Are you bullish or bearish this market? Your answer will come right about here. Right off of there. Right off of there. When it falls to here, I'm going to let it overshoot. If it reclaims, I can take a long off of it. Ratios are pretty good. Am I bullish, though, on that scalp? The opportunity is about 40 points a run, 30, 40 points a run. NASDAQ is about 100 and something points a run, possibly. There is a catalyst active, so volatility will be increasing. Also know that we have a very close risk interval on VIX at 26.3. So past 26.3, the market's guaranteed to fall apart. Gold is doing okay. Bitcoin's crashing still even further. And I would say the market's got a mix of that kind of liquidity crisis mixed in with just bad NFP data that came through as a huge miss. Market freaked the hell out. That's kind of why I wanted to short as well, because I was betting on market just freaking out over that. It's very sensitive to anything. And I'm not trusting that we're returning to a rally anytime soon. All eyes are on oil now. Yeah, oil's like the next gold, right? So that's kind of another thing. 10% up today on oil. And that's typical, right? When somebody asked the other day, should I short oil? And I gave the speech of, I can't tell you what to do, but please don't, kind of thing. In a war in the Middle East, oil's just going to perpetually go up until the conflict is solved. So oil going up to, you know, 4-year highs, it's going to probably continue to move higher. So just keep that in mind. Will we get to 100? It's very possible we get to 100. If things stabilize, then that'll be a different story. So if like there's a ceasefire or something, it'll stabilize. But you know, we're kind of like fighting with the North Korea of the Middle East. These guys are they're kind of passionate about hating their enemies more than most people hate their enemies. So they're probably gonna take it to the far extreme that one can take it. I don't feel like that's going to end oil anytime soon. And the fact that they'll take it to the far extreme reflects a 10% run on oil. You have to understand that. And that's exactly what we speculated to. We got that one correct. Oil will be completely going up throughout the duration of this conflict. How high can it go? I mean, we saw prior Afghanistan, Iraq, which was a less severe opposition. We went to $150. So lost 92,000 jobs. Yeah, like these are some things that are very key to understanding what's going on in the current economy, right? You don't think traders focus on equities? No, not today. It's another thing, just like it has been when it comes to liquidity and equities. You're going to have that illiquid moment. Now, there is a potential long setup from here for those of you that are like, fuck it, I'm going to be bullish anyways. It is Expiration Friday. That's the only place that I can frame a long from. And, well, your MHP resiliences are pretty good. It's probably not a bad scalp off the bottom. But one will have to be very cautious there. Obviously, be careful when the market becomes unusually volatile. What I like to do is let it overshoot and then catch the reclaim. Problem is the supply with the Strait being closed. Yeah, and that's it. Like, and these kind of like campaigns that take place in the Middle East with oil producing countries, you get a lot of like fallout in the oil market because of things like this. They block ports, they take refineries hostage. We've seen that before, where they go in and they're trying to, like, you know, milk the energies. And one of the cool things is, like, we don't get much of our oil from there anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal for us, but they're going to piss off a lot of other people. And, like, it's going to start drawing others into the conflict, I think. But you start to see, like, military targets become like oil refineries and tankers, and they're trying to cripple the other side infrastructure. You know, they're trying to cripple people economically. So that's what caused the oil prices to go up. You know, in the Kuwaiti war, or the Iraq, United States in the early 90s, in Kuwait, if you guys remember any of that stuff, you guys remember that the scenes of Saddam Hussein, when they left Kuwait, they lit the oil wells on fire, and there was this giant plumes of smoke. They're like, if we can't take it, neither can you, kind of thing. They were basically just burning it up. I mean, oil prices go up because of stuff like that. So you have to know that, that's the economic lifeblood of that region of the world. So you better believe oil is going to be a big part of the conversation, and the oil prices are going to sustainably go higher until the conflict is over. It's already happening. Yeah, that's already happening. And so it's not like oil's going to go up $10 and crash the next day. It's going to keep going higher until Trump says there's a ceasefire, and that's it. Trump, Israel, Iran, we got a ceasefire going on. You pivot in that moment. It's just an immediate pivot. Until then, I would be looking for, if I was trading oil still, I used to be an oil trader. That's why I can tell you guys this. As an experienced oil trader, I will tell you, I would be in buy the dip mode in oil every single day until that ceasefire is announced. I've done this long enough in oil. Same thing with gold, right? You would just buy the dip and buy the dip and buy the dip, and for years it'll play out. How far can oil rally off of a war? Well, from 9/11, sorry, I said earlier when I was talking about the Afghanistan war, since 9/11, oil went from like $40 to $150 over the course of a 7 or 8 year period. It could stay that high for years. This is not a week-long thing. We're bombing each other at this point. That's a big deal. So when the first two campaigns launched in I think like 03 or 02, we went from, actually no, it was about 40. No, actually it was $30. It was 40. We went from about $30 to $150. over a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year period. So imagine month over month over month over month over month gains as a campaign like that is drawn out. Now, Trump is a president who likes to resolve things quickly. We might not be drawn into another 10-year conflict. This might be a 10-year conflict. We don't know. This might be a week-long conflict. We don't know. That's always the thing that makes it hard to speculate the top, because the conflict can just be, you know, dragging on forever. Now, the way that you speculate how long is the conflict going to last as a trader yourself is to say, what are the belligerents like? Are these countries capable of a ceasefire? Well, they've done it plenty of times before. Iran, Israel, ceasefire. But now it's they're killing each other's leaders. So at this point, it's all out war, and the scary kind. And it's the scary kind where one side is, you know, threatening to wipe the other side off the planet with a nuclear warhead. So the worst of the worst is possible to happen. And it's a scary time right now for that. So the last thing a week long would be like, you know, the best part of it. Yeah. Now this is not a week long thing, but who knows? Who knows? Remember, everybody bluffs until shit hits the fan, and then the truth comes out. And, you know, it could happen. It could resolve much faster than we think. Once you get rid of all the you know, the opposing military leaders, and, you know, some kind of faction takes over and they democratize, and, you know, that doesn't happen overnight. That's for sure. But when I say it could happen in a week, a ceasefire can come out of nowhere. That, like, whenever they get in their secret room and write their names on paper and they draw a new Ayatollah out of the hat, and then like, hey, Bob, and he's like, oh, not me. Skip me, go to the other guy. You know, to get to that point, you don't have people so adamantly wanting to take the reins of leadership over there. They destabilize, and then they're more susceptible for a ceasefire because everybody's just, you know, there's no strong opposition anymore. That could be the quickest resolve. There's just so much instability because their goal is to eliminate the leaders until someone else forms a coup and takes over. I don't know what the CIA is planning to incite some group to do so. I don't know how that's going, the secret side of the war. But you have to think that something like this on the surface is not going to resolve pretty quick as a trader. That's the whole reason we're talking about it. All right, monthly maps. All right, so MHP is a support for the long side. I'm still not super bullish this, but you can still take it. Let's look at monthly maps, see where that support is though, baby. Why are long dated CL contracts priced lower than near term? Usually there's, so let me load this really quick. Okay, so by the way, MHP is bear side, and then of course we've got, here, let me put this here. Get this like dark line there. So it's bear zone, baby. Bear zone across the board. I was short last night too, man. I had a huge short on the table. I was short big. So why does your monthly maps keep snacking back to the start view? You should go to the settings up here and then turn off like auto scaling features if it's snapping back to your starting view. Yeah, so I'll be like, I don't want to be next in line. You just pick the next guy. You know what I mean? So the the quickest resolve you can hope for is not going to be something that just won't sneak in. As a trader, listen for the following words. On social media, keep Trump's Truth Social up. I've been through this before. He will announce a ceasefire, and that will be the quickest part of the resolve. Like, if there's a resolve to this, it'll come from a ceasefire. They've been bombarded so much, they've been crippled so much that they're like ready to give up. There's a ceasefire. The minute he says ceasefire, the market's going to jump 5%. Okay, so listen for that. That's your news. It's not just like, okay, maybe the bombing stopped or maybe this stopped. Literally listen for your president. We've traded Trump long enough. He's going to come out and tell you when you need the long. He's going to say, now's the time to buy stocks. Remember that shit? He's going to say, I feel like the conflict is coming to an end. I think there's We have a plan in place, blah, 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 blah. You're going to reverse in a moment's notice. So while shorting this market inside of this event, do not hold shorts for the entire day or chase reds at the bottom. Not investment advice, just trading advice, I guess. Don't stay in the trade longer than you need to. And a market like this is driven by news events. One bad news event, whatever the case may be, whether he lies or doesn't lie about it, his words move the market, and that's all we care about as a trader. So when if you're engaged in a short, you better have Trump's Truth Social open and watching everything he ever says, because the minute he says something contrary to a short, you're going to blow up your account in a minute. It's just going to be a green candle that goes up here. And now your guess is to speculate when you think that'll be. Iran, at least the current leaders of Iran, seem to be the kind of people. Now, the populace of Iran seems to be logical, very intelligent, very educated people. However, the religious leaders of that country seem to be more along the lines of, we will die for our beliefs and take everyone with us. That's the scary part of the war. People that aren't going to back down easily, so it's probably going to be drawn out a lot longer than you think. That's my take on it. As unfortunate as that is. So I'm not going to expect a ceasefire resolve in a week period. I could say after a month or two, maybe. But yeah. What's up, Code? What's up? What's up? What's up? Keep Financial Juice audio in your ear at all times. Yeah, Dan's on it, man. Like, you got to basically listen for that, and that's your key. Now the question becomes, could I take a long here? And I'm gonna avoid that. I'm thinking I'm watching it right now. I'm gonna chill on this, even though there is a possible move from there. I don't need to be over trading this. I'm very much past the halfway point to my goal. I don't want to take the initial move here, not this close to the edge. Let's let this overshoot MHP a little bit and get crazy. Let's let this interact with the risk interval and then see what happens from there. Dude, oil up 10%, man, that's crazy. I just bought a car that guzzles so much gas. My gas price is gonna go up now. Yeah, it sucks. And then the headline is Trump rolls out talks, absent Iran's unconditional surrender. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put my stream out there. I was like, where's everybody at? I forgot to tweet my stream. That's helpful. I was wondering what's going on. I forgot to make my announcements here today. MHP bounces the first place there's going to be a long setup from. Okay, so I'm still very bearish this market, and I'm not going to take the long of this. What's up, guys? Let's see where Nvidia is sitting in the chop zone. In a liquidity pocket of all things, which actually looks pretty solid. Microsoft, interesting. Meta, kind of blah. A little mix bagged out the door. There's not a lot of pressure. The upside from the stocks. We do have MHP resilience somewhat positive here. So we do have stocks like Nvidia keeping us afloat. Here's what AVGO is doing after its earnings. It also has been an half gap break to the upside. So it looks like AVGO also bull long up. That's kind of nice to see. Could I take a long off of here? What's the volatility, decaying or not? Let's check a UVXY. Maps. Very bullish on VIX. Yeah, so. Catalyst active NASDAQ. We hit the upper band. It can do anything from there. CAT is active below this purple line. So you draw this purple line from the peak of the start of the fall that doesn't have any kind of, they create an anchor point. We teach you how to find this exact point. Measure at certain distance that's from this table. This table will give you a distance. Measure that distance, draw a purple line, and then that gives you the, that gives you this little level here. CAT is active anytime you're trading below it. So this being where that particular place would be. Now, if I was going to be a continual bear from here, there's a short setup from the 752 level. If you are trying to short this, these are the pivots here and here to reject from. If you're long, these are the pivots to play from. So this is your first wave of the market. This is kind of the middle of the range, which is why I'm not trading anything from here just yet. S&P could immediately just crash through this. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see this sell and then just lose itself and then make its way back to there, and I can jump in on the long. Hold on. Smart thing that we teach people is that when your catalyst is active, the market has fallen too far too quick on an event. The market just becomes irrational and volume becomes irrational and unstable. So your first line of defense is watching how volume changes. Let me go here really quick. So you see how when the market's falling right here, the minute you break through that purple line, watch this, volume, it's measurable to a degree. Now we didn't break it on a news event, but on the other side of that purple line, volume just goes through the roof. I mean, look at what it was before, look what it was after. Once you have a catalyzed market, the volume is just ridiculous at that point. Even pre-market, the volume's going crazy. So volume is amplified and amplified to a degree. That's much larger than what normally is. On this side of the purple line, we have irrational on this side, irrational on that side. It means don't use resilience, don't use anything as a leading indicator. The market's going to kind of lie a little bit because it's breaking structure. It's going to detach from the stocks. Arbitrage is still a good indicator to use for pivoting though. You're not going to necessarily get a gap fill prediction that's easily seen out of resilience, because a lot of times the index is moving much faster than the stocks. And somebody asked earlier about oil prices, like why oil prices in the future are priced a little lower than oil prices now. Just the contango effect. All oil contracts are going up, but they go up at different rates. So contango backwardation is a very, very, very complicated effect that has many factors that build into it. Typically, pricing of something like a war, you're not going to have all contracts flip to contango like overnight. The idea of the length of time this is expected to last also would factor into something like that. Do you think every other oil contract would be priced higher than the current one? At some point in the future, you might see the curve flip over where it's in backwardation again. And you might think, well, why is that the case if there's some prolonged conflict? Oil price is very short term like that. You know, they tend to not overreact to things like this super quick. But contango has a lot more effect, a lot more pieces that go into it besides just the war. It has to do with everything from cost of transportation, cost of shipping, cost of storage, cost of you know, future supply, future demand, future issues, contract issues. Everything bakes into the price of a contract. If some, I don't know, tanker company is going to go on strike and oil shipments will be interrupted, right? If some facility that stores oil midstream is expected to be full and they lost a contract to sell their oil to somebody, and then they're going to be locked up for a minute, then supply is, or storage space will be limited. And like everything factors into the win for oil. There's a million little things, dude. I traded oil for so long. There's so many factors that just go on, and it all has to do with, you know, like what's going on in the spot world. Like, you never know. Like if every tank farm in Cushing, every tank in the tank farm in Cushing Oklahoma's like full, and they couldn't store any more oil, the refineries had to cut back their production, you know, and then everybody's affected by that. So then, you know, you get like this, okay, the storage prices are going up. So, that bakes into the price. And for how long? Oh, for the next 2 or 3 months until they get a new, you know, or the pipeline is busted. They can't transport out. Like I said, there's like so many little things that work into that price. Where should we anchor the cat lines to? Yeah, so the easiest way to do it is to go on a tick chart if you have one. Anytime independent chart is helpful. Anything you can zoom in sub 1 minute. So we go in like less than a minute. I hate that it does this like in-game HUD available. It always, my encoder tries to have this like in-game. Hate that they do that. All right. This little weird pop-up always in there. Okay. So what you do, like on a minute chart, it's this one's easy to see, but normally it's harder to see unless you go into where the ticks are. So this is a tick chart. I got a 233 tick chart on, and what you're looking for is to look for a time when the price has suddenly pivoted one direction on a sell imbalance, in this case on the downside of sell imbalance, then tries to return back up on a buy imbalance from the bottom. The middle between points A and point B is what's called an impact, we call it impact line, but an illiquidity pivot. So your anchor point is proven if you have fallen from it one imbalance to another and refuse to touch the illiquidity pivot, the middle of these 2 points, and then it finds lower lows. The confirmation of breaking the original buy imbalance means that the sell imbalance was overwhelming the buyers. Therefore, this is proven to be an illiquid spot. Therefore, this is proven to be the anchor. So you're trying to find the point that the market does this without returning half. So it's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it is from here. And don't look for these little micro moves. Look for the bigger move where the volatility expands like this and then contracts. When you find all these pieces, you found that anchor point. The rule is you're looking for A, an imbalance to another imbalance. B, not returning to the middle. C, you're looking for the point that the volatility expands the most before it contracts. And then now you have your measurement point. This is your anchor. And then for what we call the red line, this is your low. You can't see on the screen, sorry, this is your low. Then you get your overall imbalance point, which is the middle between here and here. We call those IRLs. And then once you have confirmed an IRL, you know from the anchor point, you measure one risk interval lower and you get that pink line that I get. It's a neat little trick. So here, that's the point. You move down, volatility is expanded, it's contracted, boom. From here to here, it leaves a midpoint there. We never achieved it. So now I measure a risk interval from there. And that purple line on the dot will be a high volume pivot predictable in the future. You are forecasting a high volume pivot. This is an advanced mathematical trick you boys and girls take to the bar. Tell the ladies out there how you do it, and you're gonna get some phone numbers. Ooh, he's so mathematical. That's right, baby. I got you. You guys be impressed. All your friends who are out there drawing fair value gaps and stuff. Here's the low. Expand the volatility, contract the volatility. You get that low in there. So 2 things. We've got A, the anchor point starts here. B, this is a guaranteed high volume pivot on the way back. C, you can extend this further all the way to the low of the day, and you got an even better high volume pivot to play off of. Look at that MHP bounce on the dot there. Trump say something? What's going on? What is going on here? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. We have other data coming out. I think we have another data coming out today. It's right on the dot here. Auto inventory. It's nothing big though. Yeah, give me a second here. Did they just hand me my short entry? Let's bet on the worsening condition here. Probably a bad idea, but so finishing that lesson, so I'm gonna just draw it for you guys over here. That's that first line that I was talking about. That's a pivot on the way back. From here to the bottom, that's a pivot on the full retrace. At least for now. And then you draw from this anchor point a distance of exactly this pink line is the distance from this table right here, and it's based on margin requirements. So when you set it up here on that pink line, it's a high volume pivot, which is where we are right now. When you get right to it, it's high volume. What was this? Business inventories, retail inventories, wholesale inventories. Am I on the right day? I am on the right day. So this is the cluster of pivots. I'm going to try to take a resistance play off of this. What website is that? Which one? Can I make a detailed video about this? It's in one of the bootcamp videos. It's already there. So S&P is right there. So same exact thing. S&P is here. So bear zone top is resistance. We are also in bear market territory. I'm shorting off this pop, even though catalyst is active and the bottom DD band. The only other thing that I have is that it pops to here and I can continue shorting it. It's a little aggressive to jump in on here, but I'm keeping it moderately small with 10. Dude, I would have made $500,000 off of my short last night. I was juggling between 50 and 60 contracts the whole night. Trying to short this. I was so convinced it was going to crash today. We got all the data that came out. We got the war going on. Market irrationally popped into expiration. It was like, okay, that didn't make any sense. Yesterday's low was trying to sell and then it just popped up. Oh, I was ready for it, man. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I know, can't ever think like that, but man, I woke up happy. I was down a little bit. I was even happy that I was down. I didn't even care. I was actually very happy. I was like, man, I knew I was right. I'm like, thank God I got it right. Now I can be back in sync with the market. Now if it pops and rallies today, then I'm just gonna Cry my brains out here. I'd like to see an MHP break. That's what I'm looking for today. Liquidity pocket's going to try to hold. This is a really strong support. It was resistance. Now it's testing a support. I'm not trading any of my props today, by the way. I'm kind of leaving that. Irrational market doesn't make any sense to go jump in and do anything with props. So right now, my bet is that the catalyst is going to stay active and the VIX is going to keep going higher. If I see VIX tailing up, that's a good sign for this trade. But again, it's volatile, and VIX going up doesn't just necessarily mean the market's going to go down. If the VIX goes up, the market can go down. I'm not betting that. If anything other than that the VIX still stays here and builds a little extra volatility. And that we interact with the full risk interval pivot. I mean, we're so close to it, there's no reason I don't think we would not interact with it. Everything's painted as resistance today. MHP res is still positive, which is why there's a strong support there. So we'll see. We did have NVIDIA and AVGO carrying this morning, which is pretty good. Those two were looking great. Amazon, not so much. Apple, okay. Actually, the stocks aren't looking so bad, believe it or not. I think we should test lows, though. I think that we need to get down here to these interaction points. But the thing is that if S&P breaks this, it's very, very, very chaotic. I'm talking like to the extreme. It is trying to consolidate for another leg up, which is crazy. Are we in full-fledged crisis mode, guys? It would be unusual to break this and keep going, but I am going to take that bet. We're going to the 8:30 data candle? Yeah, I think so. Oh, you talking about earlier? Oh, you mean to the upside? Oh. I'm planning for that. It's possible. I'll hit it very hard from there. Yeah. 100% I'll hit that. I'll hit that shit really hard from the top. But I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on this one from here. Let's see if the DD ratio is decreasing a little bit at all. From pre-market, I mean from market open, 37 to 39. So it's actually gone up just a little bit. Somewhat stronger, but still weak. I think we're gonna find lower lows today, guys. That's my bet. I think we break in the lower lows today. Shorting it right back down to open. That's a $10,000 profit there. I'll take the profit on that. Alrighty, let me eat my breakfast real quick. Just scalping it. I like making 10K in 3 minutes. Not a big deal. Back to open. Let it simmer down here. Let it do its thing. I'm short. I'm in and out. Especially short scalp when there's a catalyst. I need to be in and out quick. There's my bonus check. Yeah. Walk around and make 10K. Again, I don't have any evidence that it breaks through. Our resiliences are strong enough to hold. I do think it goes lower low, but I'll need to take the bet. I just played the range on the pop. That was a quick 70-80 points. Oh, we wait. And we're trading a lot about just finding the opportunity. You know, when it got to here, all the evidence was like, it still can be resistance. This can very well pop and keep going. Yeah, and so if you guys want to know my bigger short, my bigger play for the day is inside of this news candle, like somebody said earlier, right? Like that is possible. Do we stay down in here? Very possible as well. So while I did take the little scalp there, anything that goes up to there, oh, I'd short the shit out of it back down. 100%. This range, just let it range in here. It's not dying out just yet. And some of the stocks still look pretty good actually, which is why I'm still not balls to the wall shorting this lower. But I'm not buying the dip, that's for sure. Not yet. And come down MHP on Nasdaq, I think so. Yeah, it's possible. But if I was shorting, I wouldn't. Like, I don't short below DD band for this reason. I'm in and out quick. Watch, a green candle could come out of nowhere and just blast to the top. The rule of thumb is below green bands, no shorting. I teach you guys that, like, no shorting. It's in the handout. So if you do short off the band with DD ratio resist, if you do short off the band like I did with your ratio in confluence, remember it states the band is resistance here. It's in and out quick. Like, you're gonna get a quick little dive off of that, like I just did, and close out. It's not let me short for it to continue to crash. Shorting at lows is always dangerous in of itself. That's why I took it in a medium position. Here, pivot to pivot, out of the way. Did I just trade 10 E-mini contracts short? Yeah, it was 10. 10 is considered my medium small position. Like small would be 5, medium would be 10. So medium small would be 10, medium would be 20, and large would be 50 to 60. What's the best static account besides Lucid? I would say ETF has a really good static account. They have one of the biggest drawdowns you can get. I haven't ranked all the statics on the site, but that's the question from the website, right? FINRA has approved the PDT rule change from 25 to 2K. That's a cool story when you think about it. You know, so you know, like the motivations of why this is. So FINRA created the pattern day trading rule and the minimum deposit to day trade. You see how I closed out my short scalp in and out? FINRA created these kind of like rules to prevent things like 1929 from happening again, where people were able to like leverage so much cash that they would take out loans and day trade them and then blow up everything in stock market crash and go into like a Great Depression. FINRA stepped in to sort of like regulate that stuff. 25K, you know, deposit to day trade was something that was like limiting. It prevented people from day trading. And so that was good for a while because you didn't want Wall Street propped up on, you know, debt and people mortgaging their houses to go day trade. But then as they started realizing, you know, trading makes a lot of money, why limit what your customers can do? But you can't be too risky that you ruin the infrastructure of the entire market. You know, they're obviously just a regulatory agency, so they're overseeing everything to make sure that things are okay. They don't want the public to be harmed by the stock market. We get it. And then futures market steps in and it's just like, you know, sort of, you know, discount brokers come out in the early 2010s, Ninja Trader, Trade of 8, and futures become more accessible to the average population. Futures have no PDT rule. Futures have no account minimum. Futures have no rules like that, and they have better taxes. And then, you know, the stock industry was kind of like, whatever. Then prop firm explosion happened. The prop firm explosion created this massive influx of interest in the futures that fewer and fewer kids out there are trading stocks anymore. So I think, you know, FINRA is not it's a regulatory agency, but I'm curious to think if they were lobbied very heavily by those in the stock exchanges to lower that requirement. Hey man, we're kind of drying up over here. Liquidity's drying up because the kids are trading futures these days. Nobody wants to touch the stock market. It's too expensive to be a day trader in the stock market. They can go over and trade futures for nothing. So maybe the buddies at one place were lobbying the buddies at the other to like, hey, can you guys change that limit? And it allows more freedom and flexibility for people to trade. And they mentioned like Robinhood and all these other companies that bring retail stock trading to the masses. It's going to allow less people with less money to trade, and therefore the market will ultimately become more volatile, I feel. If the positions in the stock market are based on people with $2,000, $3,000 to their name, and that the retail side continues to grow, my thought is that when markets are moving and more volatile, retail traders is going to lose even faster. And so you might have the market become a lot more violent place as a result, as dumber money becomes the bulk of liquidity. But I can only wonder what the incentive for that is, other than, you know, it's just an outdated rule in the realm of everybody. You can go trade crypto with no rules. You can trade futures with no rules, and stock market's like, you need $25,000. And the fat cats in the room are like, how can you day trade with less than 25? You get the, you know, giant bushy mustaches and the top hats. JP Morgan, all his friends still sitting there. He was an ugly mofo, dude. You ever seen a picture of JP Morgan? He was one of the ugliest humans that ever lived. And I'm not trying to be mean. He was weird looking. Exactly when I described him to a T. A little outdated, I would feel, but it's necessary to keep the market stable. But I can only wonder what the motivation was, other than I'm sure regulatory was being bugged a lot by industry. Like, hey, come on, we need to get rid of that. Regulatory would have absolutely no reason to do that. To increase liquidity in the market, okay. To have more traders there, okay. Is that necessary? Maybe not. I mean, the goal of regulatory is to protect the investor and protect everything around the investment machine from corruption, right? So regulatory would have no incentive. I can't find it. Maybe you guys can think of it like I can't think of it, but why would FINRA even care to do that? It seems counterintuitive to the job of FINRA. So one can only imagine they're being pressured or lobbied. Hey, this is an outdated rule that came out of shit like 1929. Let's go ahead and, you know, providing extra liquidity can't be bad to the market. Maybe that was the sales pitch. I don't know. BDT penalizes small accounts. Yeah, it does. Did he look like a walrus? Kinda. Actually, he wasn't that bad looking, but he definitely looks like a cartoon character. I'm not gonna lie. One of the most powerful men who ever lived. There he is, staring you down. He had a funky looking nose. That's what I think was what he was known for. You scared? That's the face of the most powerful man that ever lived. Scary boy. Scary. I'm scared. Looks like your standard Wall Street. He literally looks like what if you were to draw a cartoon of a Wall Street person, like a caricature, like a political cartoon with a Wall Street person. You would literally draw that guy. He looks like what you would think Wall Street would look like in the 20s. He's got a face for radio. Someone peed a little. I know, right? Why is he so angry? And that's his nice face. He was smiling for the camera in that one, right? He's got an alcoholic nose. Yeah, he did. Yeah. But yeah, no, his like the whole, yeah. If it wasn't for JP Morgan, we wouldn't have electricity, by the way. That's a whole story I'm not going to go into. He was absolutely one of the people responsible for bringing the electric industry into existence. He was one of the early investors in electricity as an industry. He backed Tesla. He backed all kind of people. So when electricity was seen, so JP Morgan's father was also a very powerful investment banker, and JP Morgan was trying to like make his name somewhere, and he was trying to find his one golden goose investment. So early on, early on he was trying to do something to make his name somewhere. And electricity was becoming a thing. People like Tesla and stuff were like showing off electricity and its power. And JP Morgan's dad was like, that's just some carnival shit. Leave electricity for the state fair. Like it's never going to be a thing. But all of JP Morgan's rich friends were paying these private installations to get electricity in their houses. That was like the hottest, coolest thing to do. And he was like, I'm going to back this. This is the next big thing. Electricity. Every home's going to be electrified. And at the time you had, you know, the world was still powered by like, you know, kerosene and diesel. And you had like lobbying from Rockefeller, who like ran the kerosene, you know, racket, trying to like smear campaign against electricity. And then you had like the Vanderbilts, which were the people that shipped the oil and stuff everywhere in the train cars. Didn't like electricity either. You had all the barons of industry fighting each other because they're all trying to protect their assets. And JP was the one that was like, electricity's the next big thing. Rockefeller was like, no, it's not. It's terrible. And JP's own dad was like, no, it's not. It's just a gimmick. Nobody wants it. So he was like one of the early backers and financiers of electric research and then all that stuff. Yeah, Vanderbilts were all about shipping coal and shipping oil and stuff. So they didn't like electricity either. So it was like at the time you had your barons of industry like shooting electricity down and smearing it. And you had JP Morgan was the one that was like, no, you know, I think electricity is the next big thing. So did he back Elon Musk? Yeah, he backed Elon Musk. Yeah, he was with Tesla like early on, and then he stopped financing him, and I think he supported Edison. I can't remember the rest of the story. But I think it was like he cut him off for some reason. Let's go with that. Oh, yeah, so Tesla, yeah, it was like some kind of I'm reading, there's some kind of communication system that Tesla can transmit Morse code between US and Europe. He gave him money to accomplish it. And it didn't work and he pulled out or something like that. When I Googled, like, why did JP Morgan cut Tesla off? There's like, JP Morgan Chase cut ties with Elon Musk Tesla due to a $160 million lawsuit. I didn't realize that JP Morgan went after Tesla, and then JP Morgan also went after Tesla. The company. That's funny. Anyways, short coming up soon later. Yeah, probably in a little bit. Probably up at the opening high of the news high. Yeah. Probably up here somewhere. Probably the 866 level. History repeats. It's from the grave. But it's a pretty cool story. I watch a lot of YouTube micro learning on barons of industry. You can ask me any question about any company. I probably know the history of it. Let's Google some of this stuff and come up with some interesting facts. He was an early pivotal financier in adoption of electricity, acting as a crucial bridge between Thomas Edison commercialization of the electric industry. His support was instrumental in shifting U.S. from gas lighting to electric power. And Rockefeller hated his ass for it. JP Morgan was an early adopter of Edison's technology, installing the first residential electric lighting system in his New York home, which was powered by Edison's equipment. I do remember that as well. Against his father's advice, Morgan invested in Thomas Edison, helping to form the Edison Electric Company. Yeah, JP's father hated the idea of electricity. He thought it was a terrible investment. Boomers, man. He was an investor in Edison's first commercial power plant in Pearl Street in 1882, which served as a square mile area in Manhattan. Blah, 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 blah. He supported Nikola Tesla early on, funded Tesla's early electrical projects, later reduced support when Tesla's wireless energy ideas did not promise commercial profitability. Remember, he was an investor first, so scientist second. You know, he just wanted to try and do something that would commercialize. And the idea that wireless energy is very possible, as we've proven today, there's wireless electricity commercially available. You know, you charge your phone wirelessly. Tesla's, you can't, the thought process, I think, as an investment standpoint, is if something can be transmitted wirelessly, you can't sell air. It's there in the sky, so it's kind of like less profitable. If you can send it through a wire, then you can control the price of it, control the supply. So I think his like financial incentive was like kind of, he couldn't see even though like Tesla was onto something. I think the idea that his work was in wireless transmission of electricity kind of seemed like, yeah, he's going to be giving this away. Let's not do that. I'll be looking to short a little bit higher off of the news high probably, so we'll see what happens there. We do have the cat active lion, the purple. Bear zone top here as well. I'm going to tell you guys what I think. If there's a short setup, it is from here back to there. That's the play. But I chased along here. I don't have any evidence to chase along. Remember, keep resilience off the table when a catalyst is active in S&P. Don't try to use this as a leading indicator. Let it do its thing. They had a hub to put in your house and it wirelessly goes to your lights and stuff. That's pretty cool. Somebody said all you need is the checkout page. Oh, excellent. Yeah, so I'm the creator of this trading platform that has all this information built into it. We invented the liquidity maps, gamma exposure tools here, and then all of the arbitrage and internals tools that you see. You can read up more about it or join our community. Yeah, we have a huge Discord. We're probably one of the biggest Discords. Oh wait, I'm on the sandbox. Hold on. Believe it or not, if you're a futures trader, we are the very first futures trading Discord ever exist. We've been around since 2016. The website's not loading up for some reason. Give me a second here. Our website is here. Yeah, I was trying to get you the link. So what we have is two different things. We teach a day trading boot camp on how to scalp and day trade. We teach how to master and beat prop accounts, basically if you're a prop trader. We have these amazing prop firm masterclass. We have like 10,000 people in our Discord. We've got 100,000 people, customer accounts using Rocket Scooter. I'm the inventor of the trading platform and the trading tools that you see on here. We built this entire platform. We have a 20 course boot camp that you can take as part of the membership. We teach it live every couple of months, but it's also recorded so you can watch the videos and knock them out. Everybody here on this channel has pretty much gone through it. You can read all the reviews on the site as well. It's half price for the first month to check it out. Is that a major imbalance? Yeah, that is at that level. This is a major imbalance point, yeah. You have an $1,100 payout secure, but you need $2,000 for this trip. Should I stop now and secure your money? Bro, all right. I can't tell you trading advice, but I'm going to answer the question like you didn't ask that just now. I teach against trading to need money to do something. Trade based on just the integrity of the trade by itself. Don't trade on hope because you need to pay a bill or something. Don't think like that, because all you're going to do is let something not related to the market make your trading decisions for you. When you say it like that, it sounds kind of dumb, right? Good question that you asked, because we've all been there. Like, man, I got mortgages due and I need to make like 2,000 more bucks, or I'm going to be late on my mortgage. Okay, let me hold the trade on for a little bit longer and hope I get something out of it. Now your mortgage is now making the trade for you, right? If you have a play, take the play that you have, regardless of what the money's going to do. If you don't think you have a play, don't invent one that's not there because you need the money for it, right? You answered your own question by asking it that way. So hopefully that helps you make your decision. We all been there, man. I think like earlier in the week, I was giving a speech on that whole thing. What it was early on when I was getting started as a trader. You got bills to pay and you're in the middle of a trade. Bills are due last week and okay, if I just make one more trade, I can buy this and buy that. If there's a trade, you take it. It doesn't matter if you got a bill due, not a bill due. The trade is based on the market. If there's no trade, don't take it. If you force a trade because the bill is there, bill is due, or you got to buy something, you're making a trade based on the need for money. And that doesn't sound like a smart reason to trade. I have to answer your own question by talking about it like that. Got the scalp, got out of the way. We're pressing a little bit higher. S&P half gap might be the place we go. I don't think we V all the way up today, but I wouldn't be surprised. As somebody said the news high, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that we get here and then we immediately snap back down to there to test this range right there. Do y'all think that's a good play? Let me draw it again, that we snap to there, and then from here it picks a direction. Does that sound about right? Just IV crush into expiration. We all know that's a thing. Oh, look at this. Ian smart as hell. Literally the minute I say it, Ian's in there with the chat. Yeah, volatility crushing into expiration. Right. So when you collapse that volatility very quickly, premiums just completely tank on options, right? In this Friday expiration. So volatility crush, and then the market picks up steam towards the end of the day, right? This your graduate trip? Bro, let me tell you something, all right? You have to make a conversation with yourself. You have a $1,100 payout secured, but you need $2,000 for this trip. Should you stop now and secure your money? Your girlfriend will be happy if you just go on a trip. If you make the bad trade, then you ain't got money for the trip to begin with. Your girlfriend's gonna be mad. Think of it like this. No trip, mad girlfriend. A trip, but not the best trip, happy girlfriend. The best trip, happier girlfriend. The equilibrium of that is secure the happy girlfriend, take the money, right? Give her a trip, right? Give her a good one. What's the difference between 1,000 and 3,000? A slightly better hotel? You know what I'm saying? Think of it like this. Community's telling you to secure the bag, bro. Like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, secure the happy girlfriend. You know what I mean? You might not be getting the tomahawk, but you can get the filet. You know what I'm saying? It's still great. Farina, we've got chat mom here. She's telling you from her female sensibilities, she's saying take the money. She'd be happy with you just the gesture of a trip alone is more than the money you spend. Trust me when I say. When it comes to IDOC, I could go spend $30,000 on a piece of jewelry for her and she smiles, but I can make something with a pencil and paper and draw something for her and she'll smile bigger. I think that's the language of most women. If it comes from the heart, it's more valuable than the money you spend. The fact that you put thought into her at all is enough for her to be happy. So have at least a little bit of money that you can at least get out of town. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna be impressed. You guys are both in college. Y'all aren't at the age of being impressed by money yet. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's broke in college, so no one's expecting you to come in like a big baller. She'll probably be like, oh my God, you thought of me for a graduation trip. That's so sweet of you. But the last thing you're gonna do is say, yo, honey, I know we can't go on this trip because I full ported the NASDAQ and I lost all the money. We got to stay home. She's going to be like, wow, you're kind of a doofus. You know what I mean? She watch you get that payout. She better be impressed. She'll be impressed with you, man. We're just having fun. She definitely is impressed with you. If she's stuck with you this long and you're a trader, she likes you. Draw her a picture of a diamond. Look, I went to art classes to learn how to draw you this diamond. But I'm seriously though, if you when I was in college, I had I had 3 jobs and I still had no money in college. If I were to go down to the arcade and give my girlfriend $10 worth of quarters for the Dance Dance Revolution machine, she was excited. So I'm sure she'll love the fact that you've taken her anywhere. You're gonna draw a picture of the last line, $100. There you go. That'll work. Okay, so we're at the news high of NASDAQ. Now the question is this where the retracement comes from? I'd like to think that the S&P is the controlling factor today, because the S&P is the lagging of the two. I'm gonna let the S&P make the move. I really do think, like, I just feel this U shape is there. And I really do think that the actual play like this is here. Does this look like the right thought process, guys? And then it just from there randomly picks a direction. Didn't seem about right. At that pocket like that. And I think with NASDAQ, what it means with NASDAQ will overshoot because NASDAQ's moving a little faster. NASDAQ does this. Does that look about right? It's funny that I had the right mentality, but I was getting fatigued, man. It was like literally like 2 in the morning while I was staring at this. At the peak, I had 60 contracts at the peak. Problem is I was shorting right out the door. I started shorting here. I was like, okay, on that pop, I'm like, let me do 10, let me do 20, let me do 30, let me do 40, 50. Okay, let me close 40. Let me close to 20. Let me get back into 40. Let me get down to 30. Let me get 40. Let me get 50. Let me get 60. And then it was like, you know, as I was closing, because I got in heavy here. So as I was closing all night, I was upside down like 50K. I was like, you know, but I'm going to make it back. I'm going to make $500,000 tomorrow if this falls to target. It's worth it. And then finally, when this happened, right before I was going to, because I was so tired, I could keep my eyes open. Right when this happened and this happened, I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to close out. But basically, I closed out even-ish. Actually, sorry, it was on NASDAQ. I'm looking at the wrong thing, not on S&P. I was doing it on NASDAQ. But similar pivot. I was shorting because S&P was hitting yellow. So, so I closed here at 25,045, which is here. My last close was here. So when as soon as we got this and it did that, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna break even and call it. And then as I'm sitting there watching it go green, I'm like, good, that's a good thing I did. And then I'm a bed. I wake up and it's down here. I was shorting because of NFP and war and all that stuff. I was like, there's no way this is gonna rally up today. We're gonna wake up inside of a catalyst. I could feel it in my bones. Philly, you had 100K on the short pattern? No way, bro. Really? Okay. I tell you, and again, I didn't have any indicator to go with me. I was above MHP. We bounced on MHP. I was shorting off of yellow proxy in NASDAQ. I was like, we're gonna hit yellow line and we're gonna just die. And another thing that made me worried about here was because I was like, well, NASDAQ is sort of like holding, dude. I'm gonna be upside down another 100 points. I'm gonna wake up and the stream's gonna laugh at me because I'm down 250K. Ain't no way I'm gonna do that. So I was like, all right, I'll just break even. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, baby. So hey, our gardens, any pivots here? No, not right here. So the idea is there's a liquidity pocket pivot, which is from half gap to fill the gap. So from here to here is the completion of the move. From here, I will be shorting. It could very well sell off from here and I might not get it. So the goal is for me, I'm waiting for here to short it back to here. It very well could hold this and work its way higher inside of here. But I'm not taking the long bet to grab it. I'm not jumping in the way of this to the long side. Catalyst is still active on S&P. We're gonna let it play around. But yeah, I do think any move to there is possible. I still think down's the way to go, which is why I'm not jumping in on the long to complete the move. But if it does go higher, I will certainly short it back down to here. What level is that number on NQ? 24,959. Yeah, this right here, you can just tell this was getting us out of the way. So that if we were selling off yesterday, we'd be crashing the day into close. This is pure manipulation. I was like, this is weird. It's trying to sell off and then it popped at the end of the day. They're just crushing some put IV. That way the market doesn't just, you know, crash in a final Friday expiration. The person that was asking about the website, if you have any questions, let me know. It's half price for the first month. $20 gets you in the Discord and $20 gets you in the boot camp. It's $99 for the first month to try out the platform, which has all these tools in it. And the software is $159 every month after, as long as you don't cancel. It's normally $200 a month. So the deal we run is that if you first time you subscribe, you stay subscribed, you keep the discount forever. Did she like the fork that I made yesterday? She made fun of me for my food getting stuck in the tape. She's like, there's food all stuck in that tape there. I was like, you can wash it off. See, look, the pen is back, good as new. You were here yesterday. I got to MacGyver a fork out of some T-pins, some tape, and a pen and a used toothpick. So T-pins are this, if you've never seen them before. This, you can see them, there's two of them. Right here. Just a pen, you stick it in a wall. I have these corner bass traps in the room. They're like these, they're basically like this foam acoustic dressing. I put them in the wall and then I tap it in with the T-pin to hold it in place. I got a ton of those. Oh, speaking of, anybody go to temple this year to get your reading during Chinese New Year? Apparently 2 years ago, mine was like, you're gonna have a troubling first half, but you will have tremendous success in the second half of the year. That's kind of what IDOC's dad translated it for me. And it turns out yesterday, the middle of the year, I won like 2 trading competitions, and then we were crushing in the Tradeify competition. Our channel like doubled in viewer base second half of the year. Then we made like dozens of major deals. We got to deal with Ninja Trader. We got to deal with Go Charting. It came true. Well, this year it's not as it's a little more on the troubling side. Like, you're gonna have some problems this year. So we'll see. Let's translate this and see what it says. All right. Let's read what my fortune says. Y'all ever done this, right? You've never been to a Buddhist temple. There's a thing you do. You get like these 2 stones. You know, you say your prayer and you drop the stones. If they land like this, then you shake this can. It has these sticks in it, and the one stick that flies out, when it lands on the ground, you drop the stones again. If they land like this, then you keep the stick. If they don't, you re-roll. And so the stick that falls out has a number on it. You take the number, you go to the drawer, get yourself the paper, and then you get to read your fortune. And so let's see what it says. I'm not really superstitious, but it's just fun to do. It's something we do every year just for fun. Now, her dad, very superstitious. So he was like, you know, ooh, that's not good, or ooh, that's good. And then he'll read you the fortune, and it's kind of cool. He translates it for you. It's poetry, but he translates it from like the poem into what it means in English. So translates to English. Let's see what my fortune is this year. It's just for fun. I'm not really a superstitious person. I don't read horoscopes. It's just for fun. I feel like you can create your own destiny in this world. but it's fun to see. All right. The original poem expresses something like this. The gate is locked and no wind moves the door. The lonely traveler does not know where to go, though one may endure long hardship and effort. In the end, the situation still brings worry and loss. What does that even mean? Overall tone, obstacles, isolation, and effort without reward. Okay. The Vietnamese is a lone structure stands under the wind. Looking far away, the sky is filled with sorrowful clouds. There's a quiet path where one must remain patient. Much effort and labor may still bring trouble. May indicate separation or conflict within the family, some illness or hardship, and financial loss or wasted money. Not in the middle of the million challenge. No. No. I'm only a little stitious. That's it. I don't want to hear financial loss or wasted money. That's not good. This is considered a bad or somewhat difficult fortune. It suggests financial loss or wasted resources. No! I want a different fortune. A period requiring patience and caution. According to Idoc's dad, he said, this is not necessarily your destiny. This is just usually a visibility into a possible destiny. Sometimes it serves as a warning so that you can see what could be troubling you, so that you can create your own destiny out of it. I like that take on it. It gives you a hint as to what may come. So I must be extra cautious in my approaches this year. The Barizone was money, kind of was. Barizone to DD band, another short setup. I'd like to get that higher play though. It's a sign. It's a sign. Don't YOLO. Don't go all in. But anyways, that's a fun thing if you ever do it. I'm not at all superstitious. I don't have a belief system like that, but it's fun to do. It's cultural and everyone has a good time with it. Her dad is a very wise businessman. He's been through a lot in life, like a lot. You sit with her dad and he just has story after story after story. Her dad has pictures with the Clintons. Her dad has pictures with Ken Lay. He's been like, he knows the George Bush family. He was friends with Barbara Bush. It's like, her dad was kind of a somebody. And so he's got tons of stories. He's so fun to listen to talk. He'll just go on about so many different things. There was some point in his life, he was a pilot in the war. He worked at Enron for a while. He's got a lot of cool history. It's like one of the, you know, like the most interesting man in the world kind of conversation when you talk to them. They've got a story about everything. They knew everybody. It's pretty cool. The Clintons. He knew everybody politically from his status in life. He wasn't like, he knew the Clintons, he knew the Bushes. You know, everybody. Enron would be a story for sure. Yeah, right. He always, yeah, he was one of, yeah, so he was always, he has tons of stories about Enron. And Idoc's mom is a pop star in Vietnam. Her mom's a singer, so her mom is a famous singer in Vietnam. So they're kind of like a celebrity family out there. So they just, her mom knows people too, and everywhere we go, we'll go somewhere, we'll go to a restaurant, we sit there at the table, and just people will walk up and like get her mom's autograph and stuff. Nobody knows who she is, but over there, think of like Celine Dion level classic singer, pop star, that kind of thing. Do you have an older sister? LOL. She does. Yeah, she has one older sister. Ask him what the deal is with Bill in the dress. LOL. CD-band is a magnet and JX lines are also magnets. CD-band acts as it's an accelerated risk acceleration range. So what happens is on the other side of the band, you'll just see hedging start to pick up and markets will move very quick and sporadically. I guess in Q hit the news high is the short. I was waiting to see if S&P was going to hit it, but I guess in Q pivoted first. Looks like I am missing the opportunity. I wanted to see the higher high, but at least I'm right on the path. Her stepmom's from Vietnam. Her father was the Rice King. The U.S. flew her whole family to New Jersey at the war start. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Wasn't news high over 900? For NASDAQ, it was over 900. Yeah, it was like 920, I think. Does Rocket Scooter work well with gold? It does. You can do a liquidity map for anything. Why did she pick me? Her parents must hate her now. Yeah, she could have done so much better. That we both agree on. So those of you that are just new to learning about what Rocket Scooter is a tool set built on gamma exposure levels. And gamma exposure level is a technology that we're one of the pioneers of, this thought process in the retail space. Most people use gamma exposure as a way to show where interaction points can be. But the thing is that most people do that isn't as effective as what we do is that everybody else out there just uses the open interest of the options market to calculate gamma exposures. And we don't use every option that exists. We actually filter the options for just where dealer options will be. That's where the power comes from for hedge pressures and zones and stuff, because we filter the options. So every single options order that comes through, we monitor, and our system checks. Dealer option, not dealer option, dealer option. There's no data feed that tells you that. That data is not available. So you have to basically determine mathematically, is it a dealer option or not? That mathematical determination is what sets Rocket Scooter apart from other spot gammas and other people that try to do what we do. The idea is that when you focus on just dealers, dealers are going to be hedging their position neutral, which means their exposure will have action against it, volume against it. Somebody with their, 7,000 SPY call that's going to expire out of the money is no risk to anybody. So the seller of that option is not necessarily hedging. There's no change in delta, due to hedging. Like there's nobody putting pressure on that specific option. The person that bought the option is buying it speculatively. You just bought an option, you're holding on to it. You're not hedging it to neutral. So if you can find where the dealers are, you can find where dealer volume will be. And that's what Rocket Scooter does differently. It's gamma exposure of dealers. And we're the only people that can claim that they can do that, because the only people that do that is a huge sophisticated back-end machine that monitors every options play that comes in real time. It's a whole array of computers watching real-time data flow. No one else has that technology, but people out there have been started marketing dealer gamma exposure, and it's complete bullshit. They're stealing our words, but they don't have our technology. You know the difference between good gamma exposure and bad gamma exposure as hedge pressure is a line with a guaranteed high volume pivot. I can isolate dealer monthly exposure to exactly one high volume pivot, and that's how good it is. See that bounce right there? That's the pivot. So monthly and weekly gamma exposure for dealers are here and here. The fact that there's a huge volume spike, you can see that, and the fact that there's a bounce there, you can see that. It proves that we've got the math correct. We've identified where the maximum amount of dealer order flow will be, which means this is one of the strongest volume pivots on the map. And so it's just seen as a reversal pivot. When you hit it, you can long off of it and reverse it. The only reason I didn't was because Catalyst is active. I'm just choosing to trade it a little more cautious today than take dips at the low. Yeah, if price gets close to hedge pressure, it's like it's going there and it'll touch it. Good morning. What's up? What's up, Sean? What's up, man? 24,877. Anything significant about 877? You have a yeah. So this entire area right here, you have monthly bear zone resistance here for the month. This is your monthly maps. Is this line here? You have daily bear zone resistance here. This is currently all kind of resistances together. And then you have the half gap resistance as well. So you've got 3 different compiled resistances all stacked together in one spot, which is why you can see all this thing that says resistance. That's why it's hitting it and resisting. Nothing says support here, which is why I wasn't really eager to buy the dip. Support, resistance, resistance. The next set of resistances on the S&P is this chunk right up here. So S&P sort of has this range. That's why I was like, I'd love to get this trade from there to there, because these resistances I think are the better plays. fuck was that? I just heard some kind of hit sound. That was weird. ED band bouncy tools are crazy. I'm telling you. Our stuff is pretty good. There's a reason we got pretty big, pretty quick. Put some mathematicians and some engineers on this, and we'll come up with something a little different. So I'm a mathematician. The porn got unmuted for a second. I know, right? Gotta watch it on mute, man. I got a subwoofer. I watch it so loud the neighbors will hear. I don't turn it down. I think there was an ad or something on some website that just kicked on. Was that the ghost of JP Morgan? How dare you talk about my nose? Chill out, JP. Calm down, NASDAQ. Short. What is this candle? It's volatility, man. That's all it is. It's a high VIX situation. $150 points on NASDAQ there as well. Do I want to short on bear zone? One more time. I'm going to do it with 4. This is bear zone top on monthly map. I've got here, and I've got here to short from as well. If I hold upside down 100 points on 4, that's a lot, but 970 only puts me in the hole about 10 G's. So I'm going to put 4 on it. We go up here, I'll hit it with 20. Okay, so my pivot is now understanding that we are having large amounts of volatility. Arbitrage is about 40 points. We get some overshoot here. This is the bigger bear resistance. This is probably not a good trade to be in from here. What I'm telling myself is, right, I'm going to take both sides of the coin. Either A, I do get the short from here, or B, I get entry number 1, or here, minus 16. I'll split the 16 up, minus 8, and then minus 8. Maybe minus 10. So I'm going to do minus 4, minus 8, and minus 10 with the stop on the other side. Total risk to this is about 20K. Total gain to this depends on how low it goes. It's about a 1.5 to 1 sort of trade, a 3 to 1 if it goes to there. I'll make 60K if this works from here down to there. I'll make 20 or 30K if it just retraces back to mid. So I'm still taking the bear zone resistance bet on monthly maps. This is where I drew this white line. Your bear zone starts there with the DD ratio less than half. This is the trade from earlier. But then this quick pop to there, I'm still maybe taking the same bet through here. If the 4 plays out, then I'll cash in on the 4 also. Am I buying now? No, again, I'm shorting off of bear zone resistance. I'm betting that we close in bear zone on monthly maps. Look, let me show you that really quick. Monthly map is the monthly projection 3 months out. It'll show you where the market's bearish and bullish 3 months out. Here is that limit. You see this little level right here? Actually, let me draw it even better. Right on the edge there. 878. So it's bearish at this level, longer haul. If I want to stay bearish this market, then I'm betting we don't go to bull side. So my bet is if we do go to bull side, we close in bear side. And that's why I'm taking the bet that we close below exactly this level. So this is my flat spot. And when it bounces higher, I'm going to short it right back into this level as an exit. My entry target to cover all bases is to short small here in case it just decides to sell off for the rest of the day into Europe close. Part number 1. Part number 2 is if it pops to bull side, I'm going to short it right back to bear side harder. Does that make sense? So I'm covering all bases. I win if it falls to there. I win if it goes from there to there. If it falls from here, I just win small, which is fine. But I'm holding a position small enough such that the volatility only has me down about 10K, which is not really anything I'm going to bat an eye about. So I've got to play from this side, to play from that side, and I'll stop out on the other side to fill the gap. The odds of us filling the gap are pretty low if the S&P resilience is negative. If the S&P resilience is negative, there's very little possibility that this goes all the way up to there. As a matter of fact, the best case scenario I think is that this goes right about to there and then trades back down. So if we do get the pop, we go back to there, we trade back down. That at least at minimum is a trade, and I want to bet that we close below there. So with that being said, I always go small here, medium there, large there, then stop on the other side. Here, I'll stop on the other side. If that VIX is decaying, then this just sort of spikes up just the same, which I'm absolutely fine with. So I measure the distance that can go there to filling the gap is unlikely. But even if I do hold upside down, 100 points on 4 is not a lot. And I'm not trying to scalp this. I'm trying to get... It's a mathematical, probabilistic approach. So the only way that I lose this entire thing if it goes from here and goes to there and then keeps going. And the likelihood of that, I believe, is very low, despite the circumstances. This is just a IV crunch, or IV crush into expiration, which is why the volatility is drying up very quickly. Current level is also average of London session. Right, this is the average of the London session, which is where my exits are. This is the consolidation, which is why I'm only trading it small. I don't make big bets from consolidation. You guys know my rule there. So I'm only, because it was a big sharp candle like that, I've got a small position. Consolidation is usually my exit target, so this will probably double in size, which I'm okay with. Do I think up from here? I do, but I'm betting on both cases at the same time. Yeah. NFP data high to be swept 100%, 100%, which is why my position is asymmetric this way. You guys understand? I'll have 4 there, and at the top, I'll have 20 total. So I win small, I win big, I lose if it goes there. Oh, Crunchy Abby. Man, I'm such a mess. I'm spilling water, spitting water all over myself. Because it's volatile, I need to allow myself a larger invalidation point. Let's play some jams, by the way. Hold on. Who is the best prop trader on X? Me. Probably me. I don't post a lot of my payouts, but I'm probably one of the best out there. I focus my Twitter mostly on my main account. Would I care to make a wager? There's nobody on X and FinSwit that's a better trader than me. There's not a single person that you guys watch. I'm not being mean to people. I'm just that good. But I'd love to go head to head in a one-on-one trade with anybody. I won 2 competitions last year, first place. I got top 5 in the Robins the time that I did it. My team got second place in Tradeify, which means all of you guys were winning contests. So I like to say with those facts alone, it would be I've got more first places, I guess, than anybody. I almost had a world record payout with Funded Next, and they capped payouts, so they would have to pay me out. Had a $330,000 standing balance with them. The first couple months of existence. Boy. How long has it taken to get to 100K to 500? 10 weeks. If you're considering for the last reset, 2 months. But I'm giving myself a couple extra weeks because of the 10, 11 weeks. No one accepted your challenge for the 5 million. No, there's nobody out there that's got $5 million to their name. If somebody sends me a picture of their $5 million trading account and wants to do a charity trade off or something, I'd be cool with it. But I write gurus dodging 100K challenges, man. That's how poor everyone is out there. Some dude is crushing Robin's Cup with 4,000. Dude, I saw that. Yeah, homeboy must have been riding that silver wave or gold or something. There's no way that's a NASDAQ or S&P gain right there. Not 4,000%, man. That is a silver thing if there ever was one, which is cool. That's really cool. I saw that. Yeah, and Futures is right. So the people that are really good are also not on YouTube as well. There's a lot. I'm not saying I'm the best trader in the world. I'm saying I'm the best trader of all the prop nerds out there. There's a lot of really good traders that are certainly better than I am. As far as like the prop space, your payout princesses, your YouTubers, I do believe I'm the best one. And I'm not being mean because they're also very good. Like I would think of the YouTubers, the person that I would say probably would give me the most run for my money, I think would be Rips. He's really good. So respect for a lot. Brian's also actually pretty good despite the heat he got this year. Brian's a really good trader. I've seen his real account. I still like to say in a competition, I think I'd pull out ahead, but it would be a pretty good competition. Other than that, nobody else on YouTube even comes close to probably the three of us, I would say, that I've seen evidence of. There's probably good traders I haven't seen evidence of, so. But yeah. All the prop kids out there, I wouldn't. I've never seen them trade a real account to even know if they're any good at trading. Beating the prop system doesn't mean you're good at trading. It just means you're good at beating the prop system. It's a different game. So, but it's kind of hard to say because there's not a lot of people actually out there really trading to know if they're any good at it or not. I'm the best trader that YouTube's. Yeah. Oh, 100%. When you say you're the #1 trader on YouTube, there's people like, no, I'm number one. No, I'm number one. I was like, let me start over. There's a huge difference between the #1 YouTuber who trades and the #1 trader that YouTubes. I'm in the second category. Rips is sick. Yeah, Rips is good, and he's got that instinct, man. Like he's you know, his instinctual shoot from the hip, fucking fighter pilot cockpit style poker playing risk management. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I tune in a couple times to the stream. He's pretty good. Dakota also is really good, by the way. I didn't mention Dakota earlier, but Dakota and I talk a lot these days. We used to talk shit to each other a little bit, and then we both realized, hey, you're actually a pretty good trader. He's like, you're actually a really good trader. And I was like, hey, I saw your account. You actually are too. He's like, thanks. He's like, there's very few of us out there. And I was like, there really are a few of us out there. And he's like, well, respect, man. So we kind of like sparked a friendship over the fact that we both really trade, which I was like, I didn't know much about him. I just hated Top Step a lot. And I think by proxy, he got in the way of it. Once I chatted with him, he's actually pretty good. I won't lie. He's got stats to back it up. It's pretty cool guy. Pretty cool guy. Nobody's as good as Lance though. Oh yeah, did y'all see me memeing Lance and Tim Sykes' thing? My little meme that I'm not making fun of the charity. I think it's beautiful that Tim Sykes, you know, donates money to build schools. I think it's great. I was making fun of Lance. The funny part of the meme was they're all sitting on a stage trying to raise $50,000 from average Joes to build a school when there's $100 million of trading success sitting right next to him. You know, yo, big money Lance, can't you top off? Can't you top off the other 21,000 there? Lance is like, guys, it's for a good cause. We just need the other $21,000 to get to the 50K goal. You've got $1 billion worth of trading P&L sitting on that fucking stage. They can't come up with 50 grand between the 5 of them. You kidding me? I thought that was really funny, but somebody was like, well, off screen, they all each donated 50K to build a church or build a school or whatever. I was like, all right, whatever. It's just a joke, people. I'm making fun of Lance because he's broke. He has a job guarding my garden, though. For that part, he is employed. but the salary's really bad. We just make fun of Lance, the 100 millionaire. But I thought that was a pretty... I was like, you got $1 billion with a P&L sitting on a stage asking average Joes for 50K. I was like, nothing to see here, folks. That sounds like the trading education industry after all. Yes, I'm a multimillionaire, but yes, I need your $20. And if you guys want to know how Lance is doing on his job, just ask him yourself. Because I turned him into a garden gnome, and he now guards a pile of rocks underneath my water fountain. He's not ready to guard the plants yet. He's advanced through the ranks of being employed by me. He guards the rocks, and he's not doing a good job because there's fucking algae on some of the rocks. So at the end of the day, he mostly just supervises Pickle peeing in the garden. But that's it. But you know, you need to really get back to doing your, I turned him into a garden gnome. Nobody memes harder in this industry than I do. Okay. I need snails. I do. All right, guys, I'm gonna say that I'm green for the day. Let me lock that in. I made 200 bucks. Who's taking me out for beers? Double top, here comes low a day. Maybe. Still bull zone support. And still DD band S&P. I'm still. Yeah, the VWAP projection. I'm closing out just to be. I want to be liquid for the pop that I can drop down to short higher. Time for giveaways. Let's do it. Maybe he attracted the algae. I'd like to think he's pawn scum. I'm just kidding. We're being mean. But anyways, that was an interesting take, right? Gurus sitting on a stage begging average Joes for money while they're sitting on their golden thrones made of hundreds of millions of dollars. I was like, that sounds about right. But I mean, but no disrespect, I think that's pretty sweet that they're trying to raise money for charity. I honestly, though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not gonna lie, and I'm gonna call bullshit on this. I think the whole we donate money to charity is part of the shtick. Yes, it's a good cause, but it's the same person that gives a $10,000 tip to a waiter and films himself doing it. It brings in more than it pays out. The story sells harder than the donation. I swear to God, I'm calling bullshit on it. Lance donated 0. Yeah, he probably did. He doesn't have any money. That's why he's selling a course and nobody wants to buy it because it's bullshit. And it's $10,000 worth of bullshit. So I really think that's the case, right? The story sells more than the donation they send out. Well, it's a good cause you do donation. It's putting a camera on yourself while you do it. It really makes you seem trustworthy in a space where all you do is sell people a story that you're a good trader when you really suck ass at it. But that's the industry at large, I guess. I'm playing all the Brad songs today. The waiter should be making the post. Yeah, exactly. You know what I did over the weekend? I don't televise this, but I'll give you a relevant story. We went to this restaurant. And there was we went to go eat. IDOC was hungry. She wanted some food. We went to this restaurant. There was an hour and a half wait. There was a waiter out in the patio that was looked overwhelmed, and he was just kind of like running left and right. And as he walked inside, I went over to him and I said, "Hey, I will pay you a tip that's bigger than all the tips you've made today if you can just give us any table out in the back." And he looked at me like, he's like, "Oh, thank God." He goes, "I'll be right back." He runs to the store. There's a little storage area in the back. He pulls out this little tiny little table, puts it outside, and we pulled 2 chairs up. The table was like a foot off the ground. It was barely even a table. And I was like, "What's your Zelle so I can send it to you? You don't have to pay tax on it. I'll Zelle it to you. That way you don't have to report it." So I Zelled him 150 bucks. And then after we had dinner, I tipped him 150 bucks for a $100 tab. And he basically was like, "Bro, I needed this, thanks." I don't got a camera on myself when I do it, but also I don't like to wait in line. I know people out there like to buy $100,000 watches with their money. I never wait in line. That's my thing in life. I'll bribe someone to skip the line. I'm like, here's $100 bucks. Put me at the top of the list. But I don't, there's no camera on me when I do it, but I live my life like that. I was like, but also, there's also a benefit for me too, because I have to wait in line. But I was like, can you get me a table? And he was like, I got you. Like, don't even worry about it. And then I dropped my fork on the ground. I know this is weird. You guys are gonna make fun of me for it. I mean, I'm a gardener, so I'm not scared of dirt or anything, but I dropped my fork on the ground. I picked it up and I was cleaning it off, and he just ran over from across. He was like, no, I'm get you a new fork. I'm like, it's cool. It's a fork. I'll just wipe it off. It's fine. It's not like it's covered in cooties. I'm a man. I don't care. No, but he's like, no, I'll get you a new fork. And so on the receipt, when I gave him the other tip, I was like, thanks for the fork. And the extra attention was certainly well appreciated. I'm serious. I'm that kind of guy. You know what I mean? There's someone that accepted my challenge. No, nobody accepted my challenge. It's not a serious offer. If somebody sends me a picture of a $5 million trading account, I'll take them seriously. I recently became acquainted with that person. Their lifetime payouts isn't even that much. There's no way they have that in their bank account. There was just a podcast. These guys have a couple $1 million of payouts after taxes and whatever. I wouldn't think that there's a $5 million contender out there. But I do 100K or 50. I'd lower the amounts if anybody wants to do a head-to-head. I wouldn't want to like gatekeep a good competition from someone that wouldn't have large stakes at play. So I could do anything that anyone wanted to do. 100K, 50K. I think it's not worth the time if it's less than 100K though. Yeah. You guys wouldn't care. I have somebody challenged me one time. They were like, I'll trade you 10,000 to 20,000, see who's the best. I'm like, I'm not really trying to like size up to everyone in the industry. But it has to be live though. Well, yeah, obviously. My thought is I would take somebody seriously if they showed me they had maybe at least a net P&L and a real trading account of at least $1 million. In a competition like that, the lawyers would have to get involved, you know, get a contract out. We'd have to see all your trading records and see that you're real, and it'll all be thrown on social media. And I don't think anybody out there would want to post their pay-ins minus payouts to join a contest. That's why nobody's ever followed up with the real, okay, let's do this. That Matt Kors guy, my lawyers were trying to reach out to his lawyers and we just got ghosted the whole time. And we're like, sent them a contract that's like, you're going to show us proof of funds, you're going to show us proof of your trading success, blah, 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 blah. That's why Matt Kors ghosted us, because we're sending him information, like sending him a request for information for the tournament he wanted to have. The minute we're like, we'd like to see your pay-in stats and your payout stats and that you actually have the funds to trade this, we ghosted us. Maybe waste time and money and get my lawyer to draft that up. Trading contest with Neon. Oh, he'll kick my ass. I think that Tasty, somebody was quoting Tasty Works that had the 25K minimum, has been approved. I maybe just got approved today. I don't know when it goes into effect. You might want to Google that for me. Claude made you an algo sniper script. What is that, Danny? What does that do? You started watching that guy when they were pumping and dumping AMC. Once that gimmick ended, and then now they're a prop firm affiliate in futures with no futures trading success. The actual name of my account is called AMC Revenge. That's literally the login ID. When I created the account, I called it AMC Revenge because I was like, I'm gonna whoop his ass so hard and get revenge for all the hardworking little grandmas that he tricked into buying AMC stock. Telling them the fucking movie theater during COVID was gonna be the next big thing. looks like it's such a good investment, Sonny. Oh, there's social distancing, but let's buy a movie theater stock for my grandkids' graduation in college. Fucking idiot. And AMC Revenge is the name of the account. Get revenge for all the little grannies he scammed. He never showed up, so then I decided to turn it to $1 million for show. Whatever. No, bro, it's a good idea. It's a movie theater. No, dude, the floors are fucking sticky and there's popcorn in the seats. When's the last time you've been in AMC? No, dude, it's making a comeback. The CEO's doing this and the CEO's doing that. There was actual coverage of it. They were covering it like it was real news. No, they're getting an investment. There's investors coming in. Oh, they're making a token. They made a crypto coin. You can actually get it. Oh, and they're building this and building. Like, it wasn't just like, bro, we're just going to ape into this shit and ride the wave of momentum and illiquidity. It was like true due diligence being done. I'm fully flat on this trade. I made $200 today. You know what I'm saying? That was like the part that was so comical. There was true due diligence being done. There were people out there building like thesis for why GameStop should rally, looking at economic data and like investment data and sales figures and stuff. When's the last time you bought a fucking video game at GameStop? Do you even sell video games? You can download games these days. You go in there, you can buy a Super Mario teddy bear and a t-shirt. That's what you can buy at GameStop. When's the last time you stepped into an AMC movie theater? Yeah, in COVID, we're going all the time, right? The fact, once real due diligence was being presented to the public, like there's a case for this, I hated everyone doing it. I was like, people can't be this dumb. It's COVID. But guy made off like a bandit, man. He sweeped millions of dollars out of the hands of little grandmas, selling at the top, pumping at the low. That's one of the biggest scams in history. Okay. Regal's pretty nice with the recliner seats. There's a Regal near me. It's pretty good. The GameStops are filled with games. Well, I know they're filled with games. They're filled with games because you thought if people buy games, they'd be empty with games, right? They're certainly full of games. I think the last time I went to a GameStop was when I was waiting in line for the midnight release of Halo 3, where if you got the pre-release, you got the Master Chief helmet that held discs 1, 2, and 3 in it. Who here still has your Master Chief helmet from the Halo 3 midnight release? I know a dozen of you still got it in your closet somewhere. You still got it? I eventually got rid of mine somewhere. You still got it? You know it. You still got Halo 1, Halo 2. There were 3 slots in it, right? For all 3 of your games. Hell yeah, dude. I know half of y'all still got it. Your son has it. Oh, that's cool that you gifted it to your son. See, at the time, I think mine just got caught up in like donations and garage sales. I eventually let it go, but man, I kept that thing in my closet for years. That was when GameStop was worth going to, man. All you had to do was pre-order Halo 3 and you got that thing. Closet, it's in the living room. It's Droob's the first thing you see when you walk in the house. Master Chief proud display. Oh yeah, we gotta do a giveaway, don't we? All right, my bad. Yeah, I'll do a trading race around the block with any trader out there. I don't mind, but they will have to follow the terms. And the terms are, they'll have to disclose 3 years of trading data to us so that we can see that they have that. They'll have to disclose proof of the funds that they have. They have to disclose that. They'll sign a contract that holds into the terms of the finale of the contest. There's rules of what what the trading contest is going to be. And with that being said, I have had 0 people take me up on it. Usually you have to show me 3 years worth of your trading performance history has deterred anybody from entering a trading contest with me that was real. And I don't blame them. I'd avoid that too if I wasn't any good, like most of them aren't. All right, ETF. But accepting all challengers. And for charity, for like a good reason. I wouldn't even like, it's not even to throw shade. It's not even to make somebody feel bad. Well, AMC Revenge was going to make somebody feel bad, but in general, it would just be a fun exhibition match for you guys, you know, entertainment and bring some views to the channel, and totally worth it to do that. All right, ETF. First and foremost, guys, type it in. Let's go. ETF first giveaway, guys. Type it in. SEC. Oh, thank you, Solar Printing in there. SEC has already set April 14th as a date, which it must either approve the FINRA proposal, disapprove it, or institute proceedings to determine whether to disapprove it. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time till that comes in. April 14th is the decision day. So after the decision is made, then maybe there might be a small delay after that until it's officially implemented, or maybe it might be instant. I've officially made $219 today. I can't complain. I've got the 100K challenge account up to 560K. $200 is certainly not the 480,000 it could have been, but at least I was on the right side of the market. I just was not excited to hold all that drawdown. Couple plugs here. Some of our platform partners are having really good sales going on right now. You got 20% off rapid plan on My Fund and Futures going on right now. ETF is having their March sale, which is 80% off all their non-fast track evals. So their static is one of the better accounts in the business. It's really good because you got a big fat drawdown for what you pay, drawdown per price. So if your goal is to have a static with fat drawdown, ETF is actually pretty decent for that. Tradeify is running 30% off as going on now. The biggest sale that's going on currently right now is Fund and Next. Really, really big fat sale. Code is Rocket50 on that. The Bolt challenges are 69 from 99 for new users. I saw 30% off there. Maybe that's more than 30% off. 70, yeah, 30% off, sorry. Until March the 6th, which is today. So the bolts are, that's their same day payout accounts, right? The big brand new ones. They're really good. 40% off TPT going on right now, 60% off Phidias going on, 40% off Lucid, which is by far becoming one of y'all's favorite firms, as I'm seeing in the stats. You guys love Lucid. We got 40% off there going on. Cool, cool, cool. Who am I missing? Futures Desk, 60% off there. End of the day or trailing for Fund and Next is end of the day. Man, shorting that last night. Oh man, it was a painful night. Trust me. I was glued to my phone the entire night, and it was also chopping on the way up, which had me short, like getting in and out. You see this crap right here? Dude, we went to the we went to work out. I was making a trade in my pocket. We went to the grocery store. I was making a trade up, and I was fighting the whole way up. I must have done, God, like how many contracts? Let me look at today's report. Oh, let's do custom range yesterday to today. Well, it'll also include yesterday though, but we'll just kind of. So between yesterday and today, I've traded 442 contracts. That's how much round trip I was doing. I took a lot of heat to break even. And then I just closed out, but I was going to take 40, 50K a drawdown to make 40, 50K a drawdown to make a couple 100K on the way down. And let me show you guys the picture. This was last night. So last night I did break 50K drawdown and I broke even on being wrong on the trade. So this was me fighting it. I broke even middle of the night, and then on that second wave up in Europe. So this is just yesterday. So this is me basically, like, as I got in a position here, I was like shorting, cover, shorting, cover. So the whole way up, I'm locking in a loss, but getting a better cost basis. And I finally broke even here when it touched base. And I was probably 50 in the hole. But there's the P&L for that. And so you could see your buddy boy had a busy night last night. Isn't that crazy, right? How to get a pick of your P&L? That's funny. And here I am right now, right? Finally, well, I don't know why it says 22,000. I don't know why it's saying that. P&L history cumulative. Oh, without fees. Oh, that's why. So yeah, I'm down 1,800 on commissions. I was like, where's the rest of that? So yeah, there's still the commissions there that are gone. Type in ETF in chat to enter the contest. So I technically am up $2,000, and after all the commissions, it's $1,800 of commission. So I'm broke even with 200 on the table. But that was my night. It was I was juggling between 20 and 60 contracts. It was like 20, 30, 40, 20, 40, 20, 50, 40, 50, 40, 60, 40. And so my cost base is like higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Somewhere like I think in here is when I broke even. And I basically closed out like half of that big position, broke even. And I decided to hit it hard again. And man, when I saw that right here, I closed everything out right there. I was like, man, I showed up I was 11K in the hole when I showed up. But 60 contracts from here to here was almost $500,000. And I knew I was right, man. The whole night I was like, there's no way it's rallying off of this. Not non-farms tomorrow. Not with this war going on. I know I'm going to wake up below the DD bands. I fucking know it. I know it. I know it. I'm like, Matt, this night you're going to swing big. You're going to be right. I knew it. Solo? Yeah, what's happening when you sign up at the site? We have a support team, tech support and Discord. But send me an email, matt@rocketscooter.com. With a screenshot or whatever, and I'll help you out immediately whenever I get done streaming at launch. I'm getting a verification email, but the link doesn't work. Okay. Well, last night was a masterclass in cost basis management for sure. Let me send this forward to the development team. We'll have it taken care of for you today, bud. All right, I sent it over to tech support. They're checking on it right now. I'll get you. But follow up with Slacks or Andrew or anybody in the tech support channel in Discord. They'll stay with you. I sent it straight up to the person that is in charge of managing the website. So I sent it straight to the top. He's looking at it right now. Jay Dupree. Okay. First, he's gonna check right now to make sure that the link itself is not busted. Downside still strong today. Now Wob. I took a little bit of a bite. I told everybody the story on how I bribed the waiter.
Oh, the fried chicken place?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good.
Yeah.
It was worth him bribing. That was worth the, was it $250, $300 meal when it only cost, so it should have costed like under $100.
Yeah.
He bribed like what, $200?
150 two times.
Oh yeah.
Because I put a tip on the actual bill itself because he got me the fork. What? Tell him what I did with the fork.
What did you do? Oh yeah, he dropped the fork on the floor and he was blowing it, like literally blowing it, trying to use trying to use the fork again, and so the waiter grabbed it from him and went and got him a new fork. Like Matt didn't even have time to think about it.
Yeah, he darted over there.
Yeah, so you gave him an extra $150 for that.
I put thanks for the fork on the receipt. I literally wrote that.
He made his day.
But you know the funny thing is that when the fork drops on the ground, I'm like not that kind of like ew, you know, like I just like
what are you trying to say?
Most people are like I'm like
yeah, like literally guys, we weren't sitting inside, we were sitting outside on where the dirt was.
Dirty shoes, bugs, bird shit, I don't fucking
everything
know.
under a tree, and he didn't care.
I'm a man of this earth.
But you know what? He won't eat 1 day old food.
The 3-second rule. Have you seen, there's a meme out there of a cartoon when this fork drops on the ground, it's from the perspective of a bunch of roaches and they're all sitting there and they're like, hold, and they're counting 4, 3, and then when it gets to 1, the guy picks up the fork and they're like, oh. Like the bugs can't get to the fork. They have to wait 5 seconds before they jump on it. Hold, boys, we're going in. All right, congrats. All right, we'll do one more giveaway in just a little teeny bit. Let me see what's on the schedule here to do. What you up to today, babe? What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find the March schedule. Ooh, my funded futures today. All right, how about that? We'll do that in a little bit. In about 10 minutes, don't go anywhere. We will do a my funded futures giveaway. I made $219 today.
$190?
219.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My nails now.
Almost, yeah.
My nails are expensive.
Almost.
Lash.
No, we were talking about there's this meme that I made on Twitter, and I know I just tried to post memes for comedy, but
Did you already do it?
no, I did it the other day. So there's this one guy that's known for like pumping or shorting penny stocks or whatever, and you know the guy that's our garden gnome?
Yeah.
That's this guy right here.
Okay.
So the meme that I made, now again, this guy was one of the famous original trading gurus that shorts like penny stocks. It's basically like, it's a gimmick trading. But apparently this is like $1 billion worth of trading wealth on this stage. Mm-hmm. Apparently the guy on the left is worth $100 billion. The one that guards our garden rocks, that's him. Tell me what you see, like as a person that's just doesn't know what this is. Tell me if there's anything about this that looks suspicious. They're on a stage taking donations to build a school.
I'm gonna figure out.
You have billionaire-ish people sitting on a stage for a $50,000 donation pool to raise money from the audience.
Yeah.
See, this is why I like her. She's so smart.
But it's for a cause.
Yeah. But they need to get there $100 at a time from average shows instead of any one of them just pulling the trigger and donating 5 times the amount just to show off, right?
So traders wear t-shirts?
Well,
I'm used to an industry.
And I wasn't making fun of the cause, but I was kind of making fun of the joke was exactly what you said. Wouldn't you, if you're trying to like build schools, wouldn't you just, if you're worth $100 million, wouldn't you just donate $1 million to build 20? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was the joke. See, she gets it.
You didn't bring Pickle? Oh, Pickle's not home.
He's downstairs.
Oh, he's not here.
Yeah. Why don't they use their own money for their kids' college funds? Yeah, exactly. Are you leaving to go somewhere? Hey, Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Make my dreams come true. Why they could be like a little, I was thinking Scott's Tots, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen that episode? That's one of the cringiest moments of The Office that made it so funny. Hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? So basically, Michael Scott goes into an elementary school and tells kids that they graduate high school in like an inner city school where graduation rate was low. He's like, if you graduate, I'll pay all of your college tuitions. And he doesn't have any money, he's broke. But he thought he'll be a millionaire in 18 years. So then when all these kids, they brought him to the school, they were like, man, we want to celebrate. We want to bring in the man. He's the man that made all of our dreams come true. And all these kids are there. And he's like, Yeah, so I he didn't have he had to complete try to cover his tracks at first. He was like, so I have to say I thought I was gonna be a millionaire by this time and I would do it, but I don't have any money. And they're like, oh man, why do you gotta break our dreams like that, man? And he's like, well look, I can't afford school, but I got the next best thing. You know what every kid needs when they go to school? What? A laptop. And they're like, okay, we get free laptops. Yeah. And he's like, well, not exactly laptops, but what does every laptop need to be powered? A battery. And then he hands out laptop batteries to all the kids. The laptop battery. They were like, man, why would you do that to us, man? And so anyways, it was probably one of the best episodes of I never saw it, of The Office. The Scott's Tots program. Oh, it was great. You like the t-shirt color? Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, we'll do my fun and futures giveaway in just a little bit. You know, that trade I made last night that I was fighting all night, that was down like 50K. Well, by the end of the night, I was fighting it and I was 50K drawdown and then I broke even when I closed it because I thought it was going to crash today. Crashed today. I missed it, but at least I was like, I was doing the right thing, like managing risk. Well, but like 2 in the morning, I just got tired of it. I was like, yeah. Coffee shop? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, but see, now you see why we make fun of that guy and say that he's our garden gnome, because it is getting a little crusty, I'm not gonna lie. But I would think that, like, you know, someone that says they're worth $100 million but sells a $10,000 trading course, sitting on a stage trying to collect $21,000 from average people to donate to build something, you would think that the goal would have been achieved 20 times over to show off. Like, the goal's 50K, we've raised 2 million, guys. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they're scrounging to the end, I'm like, aren't all you guys like multi-millionaires sitting on that stage? Like Elon Musk trying to have a donation pool for $20 to build a lemonade stand. Yeah, that was the comedy of the joke. Yes. First 2 seconds of Landman. I've seen clips of it. It looks really cool. The original The Office is excruciating. Oh yeah. The Scott's Tots episode, man. You trust IDOC's opinion. Lance got mad at me because I come through all his old videos, all of his claims, and I added it up and showed where his numbers didn't add up with his own claims. I made a whole thing about it. He got mad and blocked me. I was like, you said this, but then you said this, but then you said this. And he was like, block. Okay. The amount of fake traders is astounding. Trading mindset really is, man. It really, like, it's so hard to trust out there who's actually really trading. And the couple of metrics I tell people is a couple things. Number one, prop trading and real trading aren't the same. You guys are trying to learn prop trading. You need to learn real trading to go with it. You can't learn real trading from a prop trader, but you can learn prop trading from a real trader. It's the other way around. Real trader can adapt to both places. Like a major league Cy Young award winning pitcher can win the World Series, but can also knock the milk cartons, the milk jugs off the stand at the carnival. They'll be able to, you know, are you twerking over there? Not yet. You scoot over here, they can see it. She's being funny. You know, like Steph Curry can sink the basketball that's overinflated into the slightly bent rim. But somebody that's good at the carnival can't go play at the NBA. It's like, it doesn't go the other way around. You might be able to, you know, throw a football into the hole and get the prize, but you're not going to be winning the Super Bowl. So prop traders that try to teach people trading is a little different story. The prop trading system is a carnival game, and the skills that you learn there don't apply to real trading that often. So first of all, the first thing you do when you're learning trading is have you ask somebody, have you really traded a real account? Which is really what you're trying to achieve in life. You might want to just beat the prop system, but the problem is the only way to beat the prop system is throw endless amounts of money at it to get big paychecks back. And the average person's not going to have the capacity to do what Brian and all these other really good prop firm trader people do, is they put lots of money into it to get lots of money out. And most people can't do that. So I don't think that that's the strategy most people would take. You actually need to really learn trading. So the thing that you have to ask somebody that's really trading is A, are you really trading? And B, how do I know you're really trading? For somebody like me, I put it on the screen. You can follow the continuous P&L day after day. I'm never not here. The account number is on the screen, so you know it's not demo. So at least those things you want to see, somebody show me your broker statement or show me your 1099 or show me the account number. I know that it's real. And a balance and the P&L, active position. And you're not going to find a lot of people that do that. So then somebody said the number of fake traders out there is astounding. Well, it really is. It's such a big deal that I would say 1 out of 1,000 people that you see on social media are actually talented, successful real traders. 1 out of 1,000. That's influencers and everything, which means whoever influencer you're thinking of right now in your head, think of an influencer. First one that pops in your head. They're probably not successful at trading. It's going to be a very rare thing. I'm talking a handful of people are probably good traders in the entire prop promoting industry that are worth learning from. What about TJR? I keep hearing about that guy. I have no idea who he is. Is he some TikTok guy? I think somebody says he's like a TikToker. Yeah, everybody you're thinking of. Look, anybody, and I teach this particular process. Anybody can make money in the prop system throwing enough money at it.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I caught the dip again.
Do I know Desi? I don't know Desi.
It was just...
Rips said TJR is a crackhead. Oh, that's so funny. And I'll tell you, if you guys want my seal of approval, who I think is good, like I said, I know Dakota and Rips and Brian are all good traders. I can vouch for the 3 of those guys. I've seen their real stuff. You get like my stamp of approval if you actually trade a real account and you trade it well, and I can see the stats. I've seen all those guys as real accounts. Dodgy admitted that he's made $1 million off of his course on WAP, somebody said. Education is a big business, man. Have ever heard of Trader Roderick? No, I haven't. Is VIX spiking? It should be not spiking. It should be in decay right now. Have you ever heard of FX Alex? I haven't. No, I haven't seen it. I have no idea who that is. Big Daddy Max? I can't remember off the top of my head if I've seen Max's stats though. But I'm gonna tell you something. I really stand with Max a lot. He's a very, very, very good educator. I just I don't know if I've seen his stats or not. He's really good. I've seen some of his content. He definitely knows his stuff. That I can definitely vouch for. I actually am a fan of Max and his content, so he's really good. So, but he's one of the people I haven't seen. He's probably got the stats. I haven't seen it, but he's one of the people that I've never felt the need to validate. Like off of what he teaches, I can tell he knows his stuff. That's another thing too. Like you can sit in a room, like a scientist can sit in a room with another scientist and just tell that they've been through the ranks and they know their stuff. Max never gave me any icky vibes that he's just, you know, faking it as he went. Like, he talks like he knows his stuff, and when I hear him, I go, yep, he's a good person to learn from. Trade Brigade Matt. I don't think I've ever seen Matt's stats before too, but I actually like Matt's show. Matt is a really, really good guy. He's a very informative person. I've never seen his stats though. But I've known him longer than a lot of the people in the space. His show got really big, his pre-market show. What about Jade Cap? I've never seen a real performance statement from Jade Cap. So, you know, when it comes to it, I don't know anything about his content either, so I don't pay attention. What I like about Matt is his stuff is very, like, informative on a fundamental side. Like, if you want a fundamental thing to watch to learn, like, market macro, Trade Brigade's really good. Yeah, Rake Trade's another person I haven't seen their stuff. I'm not familiar. I know who he is, but I've never seen his content or seen his P&L, so I don't know. Steven Kalajian is good. I've also never seen his P&L. You gotta show me your P&L, baby. I want to see, for me to really be up and be like, look, I like this person. I think you should learn from them. I want to see the stats, right, from most people. Or you just need to impress me with your knowledge. Sometimes even a bad trader can be a good teacher. If you have really strong sense of knowledge, but you yourself are a fucking gambling addict and degenerate that can't do what you tell other people to do. Like if you teach a really good passing game, but every time you get the ball, you just want to go dunk. Doesn't mean you're a bad teacher. There are some bad traders who are good teachers, but because maybe they lack the internal self-control, and at least they're admitting that, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. But you at least have to have played the game long enough to be a good teacher as well. I would just not like let anybody's prop payouts be your decision to learn from somebody. I'm the one person blowing the lid on the industry that getting prop payouts is that everyone that's doing it is gaming the system. They're not winning at trading. Some of them might be winning at trading, but I teach in my bootcamp how to game the system. It's starting to reach through the ranks out there that people are hearing that I'm teaching how to game the system. A lot of these folks learn how to game the system. They're building followings and discords off of it. But the problem is that they're posing as experts at trading when they're really just experts at the carnival. They can teach you how to win a teddy bear throwing the softball into the tilted basket, but you're not going to be pitching for the major leagues with that knowledge. Ross Cameron. You talking about Ross Cameron? Oh, that's a joke. If you're saying that Ross is a good trader. Penny stock pump and dump is a gimmick as well. There's no skill required that. There's a skill to be good at that. Yeah. How you make money doing that is A, you join a Discord, B, you watch the guy in the Discord tell people about a stock to buy, C, you buy it after he does, D, you watch him make all the money, and E, you decide the way to make the money is to go start your own, and then you go start your own. Speaking of Tim Sykes, they all started off in his community. Tim Sykes, and then Ross Cameron was a member of that. Then he quit and made his own Discord. And then Jason Bond was a member of his Discord. He quit and made his own, or his own community. So they all were birthed out of the whole Tim Sykes pump and dump world. Why don't I like Ross? He's not a good trader. He got sued for pumping and dumping penny stocks. One of my best friends that got me in trading got scammed in a pump and dump penny stock and lost all his money and he killed himself. That's why I hate people that do that. I think they're the scum of the earth. It's a hard subject for me to talk about. If you made your money scheming people that way, I think you're the world's biggest piece of shit. Man. Do I teach in the bootcamp how to trade personal accounts? Alex, yes, I do. That's what we teach. How to actually trade a real brokerage account. Yeah, sometimes people don't let you know. Sometimes good teachers are not good traders. They just don't let you know that they're not, right? Because it'll sell less classes. Some people are like, yeah, man, I'm not a good, like, my knees hurt, so I can't play basketball anymore. But I could have been good if I had better knees. Just feel honest about it. It'd be nice. Yeah. Who's the best trader I know? Like, who out there impresses me? That I see that I'm like, I'd like to learn from you. Is SK the best trader you know? No. I've never seen his stats. I wouldn't comfortably be able to tell you if I think he's good or bad because I've never seen any stats, so I don't know. For me, if I don't have stats, I can't answer that question. I don't use knowledge that somebody has about the market to decide if I think they're good at trading. Steven has a lot of knowledge about the market, but I've just never seen the stats. If I see the stats, then I can make a better judgment call on that, but I've just never seen it. Who would I say that I want to learn from? Can I be honest with you guys? I can't think of anybody. All right. Let me think on it. Off the top of my head, and like it's not fresh in my memory, like there's somebody I just want to learn from. Jim Simons. He's dead though. But yeah, you will find out in this world, I have this particular hate for anybody that pumped and dumped a penny stock. People. There are innocent people that got scammed into your Lambo fund, and you don't know whose lives you're ruining. The people that buy penny stocks are working class people. They don't have anything left. They have got nothing to their name. That's who you're taking money from. You're not cheating Wall Street. You're not cheating hedge funds. You're not cheating good traders. You're not beating a system. You're not exploiting the CME group. You're robbing poor people to the point of despair. And that's the lowest of the low. You trade penny stocks, you're a fucking worthless human being. And you have a Discord, you're a worthless human being. If you've ever touched a penny stock in a Discord, you're an absolute worthless human being. And you deserve the worst things in life to happen to you, including prison. Yeah, meal screenshots, I appreciate that. Oh, sorry, my funded futures, MFF. Type it in. Type it in. If your trading style requires your community to be your exit liquidity, there's no way that you're beating anybody on Wall Street with that game. You're only trading against your own Discord community. If people aren't smart enough to see that, then they're just going to be providing money to fund somebody's lifestyle for the rest of their life. But yeah, off the top of my head, I can't name one person that I would go sign up to learn from today. But let me think on it a little bit, because top of my head, I don't think like that. I have a lot of friends that are good traders, but I don't know if there's somebody I'd want to learn from. Let me think. Who do I think is the best trader I know? It's going to be somebody that nobody's heard of. The best traders out there aren't going to be on Twitter, that's for sure. It's going to be a rare oddity that you find somebody that's going to be on socials. Didn't clear the list from the ETF draw. Oh, that's okay. We'll overlap it. It's fine. Nancy Pelosi, yeah, probably. Nick Shaleen. I haven't heard of them, though. I haven't heard of them. The problem is some of the best traders that are out there, the ones that are winning contests or being like top placing payouts, they just don't teach. They just do their own thing and win. As far as people that are visible in the space, I don't know who would I think is my best recommendation outside of here. I've never had to answer that question, so I don't know. The name of this song is called The Winner Rocket Scooter. I'm gonna play it again. All right, it's for the contest. It's one of our songs in our Discord and the song submission channel. Somebody wrote it with AI. Somebody says NASA is a good teacher and good trader. Okay. It looks like we are going to clear the highs, I think, in a little bit. It looks like it's starting to build pressure with high consolidation at the cat level. If we do play on the top of pocket S&P, I will short 68.20 off of MHP. The bet that we close down in bear zone again, but anything higher back to consolidation. I've already made this scalp once. I don't want to take it again. This one right here. All right, let's go. But yes, when you guys are learning, ask somebody, do you trade a real account? Do you trade a prop account? If it's a prop account, you say, can I see your ROI? Somebody's going to say, I had $1 million in payouts. You tell them, fuck off with that. Anybody has $1 million in payouts. Anybody out there with the Discord eventually over a period of time will accumulate $1 million in payouts. Doesn't mean you made money. Your $5,000 and $10,000 will add up after hundreds of them. How much you paying in? How much you get paid out? If they show you that and you see they're profitable, okay, they have a system, but it may just be prop trading. Sometimes prop trading, there's a way to do it that's not necessarily what you'll do in real trading. So what you're learning how to like game a prop trading account is not going to really apply to growing 100K to $1 million sort of style. I don't trade my props exactly the same way as I trade this. It's different styles. Props are riskier. I'm willing to lose more, blow up the account just to keep pushing at it on the eval side. I'm not fine tuning and micromanaging a trade in a prop account. I use them as disposable soldiers. Like, if I have pivot A, pivot B, pivot C, I'm longing in one account, longing in another account, longing in another account, and one of them wins. You don't do that with a real account. With a real account, you can partition your trades that way, but in a prop account, sacrifice one and the two that win made up for the loss. That is how to beat the prop system, and there's no better way to do it than that. All right, my fun and futures, baby. Let's go. But make sure that somebody that's teaching you trading shows you historic P&L. Or at least trades live, shows you that's not paper, things like that. I have to think on this. Who is the best trader I know? I need to go through my social media and see who I follow that I think is the best. I think everybody out there is good at different things. I follow a lot of people for different reasons. But that might tell you something that off the top of my head, I don't have a recommendation. I'm not easily impressed in this space. So there's like, for me, it's not like crazy Chelsea fan. I mean, top of my head, there's nobody that comes to mind. So I have a lot of people that are good, but like, who's the best? There's no like Michael Jordan in the front of my mind that's like, this is the person. A lot of good folks, but like nothing out there like completely wows me to the point of, oh my god, like I want to learn from this person. Chelsea's probably won the ETF. You'd identify as a crazy Chelsea fan. That's good enough for me. Think we get a new low next week? I think we get a new low next week. Yes, I do. But also, I don't pay attention to what a lot of other people do too, so I don't know everybody. There's probably a lot of really good folks out there that I don't even know exist. I sick, baby. I'm a scooter. We're gonna have to clear the list. I feel like, well, I'm gonna do it one more time. Big money, don't go brag on X. I sick, congratulations. We'll do one more. One more in about a minute or two. Have you heard of Mamba FX? Sounds familiar, but I don't, for the life of me, know how it sounds familiar. Probably just seen it on X. I'm not acquainted with them, I don't think. What I think about ICT, same story as everyone else. I've never seen his stats. His techniques are widely adopted by people, so it seems to be something that people like. But again, for me, I've never seen the stats, so I don't know. I'm a very easy to please person. For me, it's just like, if I see your stats, then I'll just judge on that. I don't like to, because like, I may not like somebody's trading style, but the stats are good, then it's worth learning. Because I may not see what they see. They may see, everyone has a completely different style to trade on how they trade. If your style works for you and you're making money, then I'm like, okay, maybe there's something I didn't know and I'd like to learn from that. But for me, it's like, you got to show me those stats. That's real. It's the same question with everybody. A lot of people are always like, this person's good, that person's good. Well, have you seen their stats? Well, no, but I mean, they're good. They sound good. All right. You sound dumb. But that's just my standard. My standard is you show me them stats, baby, or look at my wallet in my pocket. Show me the stats. For broker statement, show me the last 3 years. I'll buy your course. Show me 3 years of your tax returns. I'll buy your course. Nobody's gonna do that. And I don't know why. It's the easiest marketing you'll ever do. You show people that you crush in the stock market, they'll buy whatever it is you have to sell. So I don't know why people don't do that, other than they don't have the documentation to prove it up. It's like all the money people spend marketing their own tools and discords and whatever. The freest marketing is to show a fucking tax return with millions of dollars in it. That's what your game is. Market a business related around trading. Simon Fraser, Tanya Chaudhry, Ali Tada. Business, oh, yo guy, beep, beep, beep. Somebody download, wait, what are you talking about, Bet? Hold on, I missed what you're saying. Somebody logged on live on stream, what? John Smith saying, go crude oil prediction markets give crude a 96% chance of hitting 100 by the end of March. I don't disagree with that. Crude is on like just a freaking rocket at this point. Until there's some kind of stabilization in what's going on in the world, until we announce a ceasefire or a truce or something, oil is going to keep pressing higher. Vet Writer, who are you talking about that ran 25 to 54K? I missed your original message. Oh, you're talking about ICT? Oh, okay. problem with my tax returns is that I'm straightforward, that I'm very secretive about what I do. I give you guys this account on stream so you can see and verify with this one account, but how I make my money, what else I do outside of trading, is 100% secret. One of the main reasons is I get stalkers and weird shit. I mean, I had to fight one of them in court. I don't need random asshats or grandmas on Twitter reviewing a fucking ice cream shop I might own on Yelp 10,000 times with fake accounts saying that this is the worst thing ever happened. 100% secret because of how toxic social media is. I'm one of the first people you'll meet that's extremely private about everything. But I'll show you a 1099 of this trading account. This one right here. I don't want people to know how much money I trade outside of this. I don't want people to know how much I make trading options, trading stocks, my big fat $1 million YOLOs, 100% private. I'm very straightforward about that. So this is to prove I really can trade. I'll show you this account. But any really good wealthy person that does well at trading doesn't usually appear on social media with it anyways. Do I sell meth or crack or other stuff? Yes, all of the above. So for me, it's more like for people to say, well, what do you do? I'm like, I'm actually private about it. I don't need, you know, the Susan that comes here on the fake account every other day. Imagine what happens if they found me on Yelp.
Matt's on the stream, breakfast in his hand.
You know what I mean?
Dog drops chocolate nuts, taking a stand. He goes, chocolate nuts.
Imagine what those idiots would do to any physical business I own outside of this. Restaurant, club, you name it, whatever. Trustpilot reviews through the floor. So my tax return is very much skewed towards my business and everything, but you can see my trading gain income. But the last thing I'd like people to know is how much money I do have outside of what I show you. My family doesn't even know. That's how private I am. You get wealthy, you'll think the same thing. Never let people know never let people see your hand. My family is not the kind of conniving, scheming family that would do that. But my mom doesn't even know my net worth. The reason, because once somebody knows, they're gonna try to get it from you. That's kind of what I've figured out in life. The less people know, the better. How'd the Lance Gnome turn out? Bro, you didn't see it? Hey, welcome back from vacation. We showed it on stream today, actually. One of the reasons I don't show my big trading on stream, because you guys would, like, imagine me taking a 70K drawdown, right? And then every broke ass loser on Twitter is like, look, Matt took 70K drawdown. Imagine what would happen if I was transparent about a $1 million fucking 0-day options YOLO trade I made on a Friday. Imagine what social media would do with that. Look at Matt, he wants to gamble. Yeah, I wanted to gamble today. I got the money to do it. And last thing I ever wanted people to do, they can't even handle 100K's worth of drawdown. Imagine what would happen if I spent $1 million on video calls and they blew up. The amount of publicity and weirdness people get at. This world's not ready for that. Check it out, bro. Look at this. You like it? This is how it turned out, Futures. You like it? Turned out pretty good. Now they actually made him look younger with the brown hair. They didn't give him the gray, they didn't Clooney him up a little bit with the side graying, but they did a decent job subtracting 10 years from his life and adding 6 inches to his height. So I think overall they did a pretty decent job, but he definitely guards my water fountain rocks like a champ. He's not ready to guard the garden yet. He needs to go through a couple years of training. So I have him just guarding the rocks because it's an easier job, but he's not really doing a good job because there's algae at the bottom of the rock. So he's kind of failing at that, but at least he's keeping watch so that, I guess nobody steals the rocks. I don't know, but they certainly exaggerated his height a little bit. They subtracted 10 years from his eyes so we can trade again. Somebody said, buddy, I think secret wealth is always the best and the people can't even think about getting you. That's the whole thing, is that My family, my friends, my business partners, nobody knows what's in my pocket. The minute people know, you're at risk of losing it. So I've been very careful. What I display to you guys on stream, 100K to $1 million. You guys are watching me play with $1 million here or there. As far as you're worth, that's all. As far as you know, that's all I've got in my pocket. And I'm okay with that, because the less you know, the better. It's always been that way. But if I'm trading this account on stream, I'll give you the full 1099 every year, because I've committed to like showing at least that much. They challenge somebody for they challenge you to 1v1. Like throwing, wait, what was it? It's like carrying around a level 4 Bobcat on Ark. Yeah, like Salt and Sand gets it. Like, exactly. Don't be going in with a 150K kit in Stella Montes Night Raid, okay? Exactly, that's the metaphor. Don't be flashing around. If somebody hears that Bobcat through the walls, woo, every free kit in town with Stitcher, you're gonna be hunting you down. That's right. Don't let people hear it. I can hear a Bobcat from across the way. Oh, okay. All right. Where's that sound coming from? Let's go get it. Not even my girl. Am I secretive with her? She knows everything. That's the one person that does know everything. Yeah. Nothing's hidden from the significant other. You got your Bobcat last raid? Wait, off of a person or like out of a box? I'm looking for longs or shorts from higher. From here, I think that the way it's consolidating at this area right here, I think that the final move is to go up and then close back down. So I'm not taking the long side. I'm instead gonna wait and take the short side of the trade back into there to bet that we close back in bear zone. Are we married? Not yet. We will be sometime. We talked about the other day, actually. Who made the Lance Gnome? Futures Trader 420, the guy that was posting in chat asking about it. Him and I found somebody on Etsy to 3D print. So we took a picture of him from social media and we made a 3D model. I hired somebody to make a 3D model. And then I hired somebody to 3D print it, and then I hired a painter to paint it. This was a whole effort to make the garden gnome. It wasn't just on a whim thing. We had to hire three different people to build it. It was a whole team of people. Did I do the expedition? Yeah, I finally reset at the beginning of the week. The total cost was like 500 bucks for all of it together, including the painting. If we ever part ways, would you be in danger? I don't think I would be in danger. I think IDoc's one of the few people in this world I've ever really trusted. She's a very kind-hearted person, and her family are kind-hearted people. They're the kind of people that the world has taken everything from them, and they never fought back. They're not the kind of people that take things from other people. I got lucky with that one. There's not a bad bone in any of their bodies in that entire family. You got an extra Bobcat blueprint? As a matter of fact, I don't think I have an extra Bobcat blueprint. I could probably need one. But they're easy to come by too, but I'll take it if you have it. Sounds like they have their own money as well. Yeah, and it was hard earned too. Like, you know, they work really hard. Yeah. Do you go up here? I think from here, the possible end of the day is up and down. I think that's the leg I'm looking for. Would I long this from here? I wouldn't. Would I short it when it pops 6820 S&P? I would. 25,000 NASDAQ would be my short target. How can we anticipate the market's going to consolidate from here, or just experience? Experience, right? We had an effect coming from an event, a catalyst to push the market lower. I don't think we close above that moment in time. Anytime you're trading lower than before that event happens, then the unexpected nature of the results of that event are being priced in now. So with the non-farms being changed, Wall Street is pricing that in lower, which means by the end of the day, we should close below that moment in time, or that price. Does that make sense? So if the market was sitting somewhere and then an event happens and it does this and goes back to the normal, then it was expected. If the market moves lower and is trading lower, then you anticipate when the bulk of the traders come in and fill out their orders on MOC at the end of the day, is that the new equilibrium will be lower than that high. So anything that pops above that high, I'm willing to short it back below that high from experience. Plus the fact that it's expiration Friday, you're gonna see that the market's gonna try its hardest to not crash, but it's still a bear market, right? Because crashing increases the IVs of all these options, and so everybody will expire with extra premium. Dealers really like to push markets to the middle to crush the IV in expiration Friday. So it's like a perfect storm of events. Bad news, war, expiration all together. I tell myself the market's gonna squeeze out all those puts at the last minute, drop in the close. So I think like by the end of the day, maybe we push up. By the end of the day at MOC, we drop right back to the middle. So experience, and again, Sook, I'm just guessing from mostly experience, but it's a guess like anything else. I don't have any evidence at all that it does that, right? It's just my speculation. So my thought is we're not going to just fall out and crash from here, or else we would still be selling off. Volatility is in decline. So there are people covering shorts here at the end of the day, which is good. Do I want to buy the dip here? Well, no, not because the war and the volatility could still just drop like a rock. Do I think we're going to rally above non-farm payroll highs? I don't think so. If we do, I want to bet that we end up below it, because that's actually was really bad news that came out, right? That makes sense? Follow my thought process. Wait, you went from failing end of the day funded accounts to being profitable and trailing drawdowns? Explain that. You're probably just getting better as a trader. That doesn't make any sense at all, dude. There's nothing that you would be benefiting from there that you don't benefit from elsewhere. You just got better at trading. Nothing in trailing drawdown is at all simpler. Your strategy that works in end of the day will not work at trailing. Your strategy that works in trailing will work at end of the day. So it's not backwards compatible like that. That's just a natural case of you're getting good, bro. That's it. You're getting good at this. It's significantly harder to, maybe the harder environment is making you be more cautious on your approach. Maybe you're changing something you don't know. Trading less contracts and getting good. Yeah, maybe like you modified your approach somehow. Trade. Oh yeah, you know, helpful is right. He's 100% right. When you're trading trailing drawdown, it forces you to take profits quickly. So maybe it's reducing your total trade time. I would look at both of your stats on both sides. If on end of the day your average trade time was longer than your trailing, then cutting your trades quicker might have a significant impact on your success rate. Could be it. You got 10K payout today? Oh, what's up, man? Good job. Good job. Congrats. Taking profit earlier, not being too greedy is probably helping you. If you buy Funded Next 25 accounts using my code, would you defend your case in case there's any payout denials? Funded Next actually doesn't have any payout denials on the futures side that have been publicized. The Forex and CFD side has some complaints, but I can tell you from personal experience in social media is Funded Next futures. There's been no reports of payout denials even when they had uncapped payouts. The couple of people that rose a stink, actually they made a mistake on their own. Now that they have payout caps, it's much safer to even request a payout. So I personally also trade Funded Next, never had any issues. So make sure that the bad reviews is not the futures side. It might have the CFD side, but every CFD site out there is littered with bad reviews. You can ask the community here. Anybody here trade with Funded Next? If you're a trade with Funded Next and you got denied a payout for unsavory reasons, can you say something in chat? Thanks, Kevin, for the update. Anybody here? Will Neon give away prop accounts today? Yes, he will. From your trading view API experience, it's possible to show gamma flows between put and call premiums like unusual whales market. Tied familiar with that. Resilience seem to come close. Hard to see pivots. From you on trading view, I don't think trading view has options data you can utilize. Are you talking about if you were to make something using trading view? Are you talking about if you want me to make something like that on our side? To show the gamma flows between put and call premiums? Like unusual whales market tied, familiar with that? I'm not familiar with it, but that's a pretty cool indicator. Check it out. Okay, I can probably... I mean, once we finish with the historic data here, we have nothing else planned, so we can start making some common indicators like that. Traditional stuff. It's definitely not unique to them. That's a common options analysis technique, and we can start adding some more of those common techniques, cumulative deltas and all kind of stuff like that. If you guys want me to build. Yeah, so yeah, nobody here has said anything about a payout denial with all the people watching with Funded Next, so doesn't seem like anybody here has experienced that, so that should help you with your choice. I personally stand by Funded Next. They actually have done pretty decent. They were kind of messy for a little bit administratively, but from customer experience, there was a time when customer support was taking a couple days to get back to people. They got overwhelmed with this big sale they had, but other than that, that messiness on the administrative side, trading side, it's been pretty flawless. I would say it's high, it's upper tier. No issues there. Where am I reading my chats from? From YouTube. It'll finish your package visual gamma put call flows, which you need. Levels are good. Premium momentum. Yeah, we don't really have any kind of real-time flow analysis indicators. Resilience and ARB are designed to be arbitrage indicators, not measuring current flow. It's measuring the stretch between one thing and the thing that it's tracking. But some momentum indicators to go with it would be fantastic, yeah. Never thought of that. Should we automate ICT stuff to finish out the day? That'd be so funny. I gotta go to My Funded TV, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Just kidding. Maybe. Maybe. Can you email me the idea? Yeah, if you send me some stuff, I'd love to check it out. Everybody do me a favor, click that link. Click that link in chat. And join me on My Funded TV. I'll be there to finish out the day today. We do giveaways on that stream. And then after that, in about an hour, you can join Neon here on this channel for the afternoon stream. Neon's momentum indicators look like fire. Yeah, stuff like that. His stuff is really cool. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. See you over there on My Funded TV. Thanks for being here, friends. Y'all are the best. Gotta hit the licorice store. There you go. Monastriba, yeah, take the bootcamp, Ben. You will really, 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 really like it. You will learn so much about the market, even beyond what we teach in our trading style. Just go to the bootcamp, go to the page, just read the reviews. That's people from this chat. Go read what they've said about it. You're gonna learn a lot about the futures market. For what it's worth, it's an insane amount of knowledge that comes with it. Okay, we'll see you guys later.